You're watching Suck Professor. Hello, everybody. It's me, Hank. I'm joined by James, Sir James. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Game of Thrones Season 8 coverage. Oh man, it's happening again, James. Season 8. We're we've got the press thing in our hat, and we're doing it. We're reporting on the news. Big deal here. Hello, everybody. What a cultural event this is turning out to be. I'm seeing this shit everywhere. All over Facebook, all over Twitter, all over MySpace, all over Cause I Like.
Did you know that if you go to Postmates and you order food right now, it shows the map of the delivery and there's a giant dragon shadow over top of it?
Wow, they should spend some money on their fucking contractors instead of on that bullshit. Pieces of shit exploiting their workers. All right, welcome to the show, guys. James, we just watched the first episode. We're going to do a shot-by-shot breakdown, and screenshots are on their way. We've got a whopping 378,
Yep.
Which is about half of our average.
This episode was not a lot of action. It was a lot of setups, a lot of reunions, a lot of explanation, a lot of exposition, setting the pieces on the board for the chess game to begin.
That's right. So, yeah, it was some good action. It was pretty compelling, though. You know, you can tell when like a show drops off, like when Seinfeld, like the last season, you're like, this just doesn't feel like the recent.
Yeah.
It still feels like Game of Thrones.
I think this episode, they probably used the budget for the opening episode for the opening credits.
Oh my god, the opening credits
were
amazing. I was just like, oh, wait a minute, what's happening? You know, that like where you realize there's like a naked woman on the beach, you're like, oh my god, is that real?
The whole time that opening credit scene was playing, I was thinking eventually someone is going to build this out of wood. And I have some savings, not a lot, but I would be willing to liquefy all my savings or liquidate all my savings to buy that.
Well,
I will live in a cardboard box underneath an overpass as long as I have a little crank that I can turn to make all those little machinations happen.
Yeah, don't liquefy your savings. Dollar bill smoothies are very difficult to drink.
If you do your cash to gold, then you could liquefy it and make a gold sword out of it.
Or just a giant gold tooth.
That's the thing about RPGs. Gold swords, very brittle metal.
It's a soft metal.
Gold armor? Why would you have gold armor? It sucks.
Yeah, they use gold for electronics because you can stretch it.
It's a conductor.
It's conductive. All right, well, before we get to the screenshots, so just a couple of things I wanted to say. I got a timer on the screen for people that don't give a shit about this opening bullshit stuff. First, thanks for hanging with us, those of you who came back and who didn't die while we were on our hiatus or our whatever, sabbatical. We're not going to continue this permanently either. We're doing Game of Thrones, and then we'll go away again probably. But maybe we'll come back and do a couple more things. And the channel doesn't have to completely die off.
Twilight Zone could be fun. I like that.
What, Twilight Zone?
Yeah, that was fun.
That'd be fun. Or maybe we should just debate about movies.
Or we could literally talk about things while we watch the fish tank.
That's right. I got a fish tank here. It keeps us mellow. Yeah. Positive thoughts, James. Look it up. Fish tanks. You can. We just kind of, the channel's just reached its conclusion, sort of thing. I don't know. I'm trying to explain for folks that maybe wanted to know what the hell happened. We just didn't have it in us to keep it going, and I poured a lot of time and energy into this thing. You can tell by the terrible drawings and all the artwork, and. It's hard, and I even had to distance myself from it for a little while because it's like a business that I abandoned. It feels like a heart, not like a evil corporation business, but like I opened a candy shop and I wanted to make everybody happy, but nobody came because my advertising had the C word in it or something.
Do you think C's Candy is evil?
C's Candy?
Yeah.
That's a company brand, a candy brand? Probably. Okay. Do they pay their workers correctly?
I imagine so. They seem happy every time I go in. They give me free chocolate.
Free chocolate, dude. Is there anything better than free chocolate? Yes. Sex.
I take chocolate.
Depending on who with, You
can save the chocolate and eat the chocolate anytime you want.
Or you can combine the two. It's chocolate and sex. Actually, that's a bad idea because it melts and then you're like, whoa, which is this? It's a little too scat adjacent.
Ew.
Been trying
That's horrible.
Been trying to sneak that phrase into all my videos. So apologies and gratitude and I don't know. I suck at YouTube. We did a predictions episode two days before the frickin' premiere. That's not.
Were we right
that's
about
not good.
We weren't right about anything yet.
Not yet. We do. Check out our predictions. If you want to see. I do think we will see a confetti dragon at some point for sure. Just real quick for brand new people, this is sort of a podcast with pictures, is how we describe it. We do kind of go off the rails. James and I are not historians. We don't know everything about Game of Thrones, and so we might make mistakes. Please correct us in the comments. Keep it respectful. If you got to debate stuff or ideas, keep it respectful, though. I don't tolerate any bullshit on the channel.
Yeah, I've never read the books.
James didn't read the books. I've forgotten the books. Yep. I did read them, but no idea what they're called. As far as I know, they're written by J.R.R. Tolkien. Okay?
I do love reading them.
You do?
I do.
Oh, well, you don't seem to read my texts. Why don't you respond to me sometimes? For once. Our Patreon community was awesome. We actually had like over $100 a month coming in from multiple, like over 25 something. It was building, and but you know, it just, that also we sort of had to set aside. And some people continued to pay us after, and I did a thing like saying, I'll refund you guys this month or two. Yeah, it's okay. The money's fine.
I hope we refunded them.
Yeah, I refunded a bunch of people for like the last month,
Oh,
and
good,
some
good,
people said it's okay. I don't know. I'm sure some people maybe spent an extra $5 or $10 they didn't want to or something. And I hope if they do want a refund, I'll mail you a $5 doubloon. Is that a money, or is that like a jacket or something?
I think it's like pirate currency.
Yeah, doubloons.
Yeah.
Aren't those the gold covered chocolate? Oh, if you're gonna do sex with chocolate, cover it in gold foil. Maybe that's why my grandma kept giving me those every year for Easter. Creepy. But we had this Patreon community, and some people even said, I'm going to keep giving you money. What? And that was like September. So I looked at it recently, and I saw we had over $200 in our Patreon account. Yeah, it built up over. I mean, it trickled off. Some people canceled. I told them to cancel. Like, I wanted them to cancel. We weren't delivering anything. And it was really flattering, and I'm pursuing a career in like comedy and stuff, and I don't know what even fuck I'm doing, animation and shit. And it's in some politics, I guess, as well. But it's great encouragement. So just that little bit of wind in my sails in a lot of ways really kept me going. But I saw this money in there, and I have no right to that money. It's not my money. So what I did this morning, I cashed out to Patreon, and I donated $100 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. This is a charity that helps abused kids and helps find missing kids. A lot of pain in the world, and we can help. Hopefully this $100 helped a little bit. I also donated $100 to Planned Parenthood. Also helps a lot of people who don't have resources get access. A lot of women get health care, and a lot of women get treatment and other medical services there. So I took the money and I gave it to something good, because it was just going to buy me half a hard drive or something that I was going to spend, or whatever. I don't deserve the money. It was not my money. So
I'm just hearing about this for the first time, and I know we don't contact much, but high five.
Is this? Oh, your skin is surprisingly warm.
It is.
I was expecting nice.
There's blood flowing through it.
Am I going to turn into a White Walker now? Thank you. Honestly, that might be I think that's the third time we've ever touched each other.
You did good.
When we met, we shook hands.
Yeah.
We met on Craigslist.
As all murderers do.
Yeah, as all
eventual murders.
I moved to LA for a career, and I needed a roommate, and James has had an open apartment, and somehow he hasn't kicked me out yet. And then I accidentally touched your foot once about 3 years ago while we were watching something.
You're going to die from that.
Well, I do have a toenail that's growing into, it's 4 inches long. It's my cocaine toenail.
You can play guitar with that.
I do. Yeah. I actually use it as the bar, to clamp down those strings. Yeah. And then we just touched now.
Yeah.
So,
somewhere out there, Mike Pence is like shriveling and screeching in the night.
Yes, that's right.
Because of Planned Parenthood.
Mother, why am I shuddering, mother? That guy's a fucking.
I want to like everyone. I want to find common ground. I want to believe in other people, but I just can't connect with him.
No, it's hard to connect with a guy who tried to force citizens to have funerals for fetuses. That sounds like I made that up. That's literally real. The guy's a piece of shit.
Maybe he owns stock in the coffin industry.
Yeah, that could be the tiny coffin industry, I guess.
Tinycoffins.com.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Our sponsor.
Oh my god. Okay, that's how the show goes, guys. But yeah, I had to do something with the money. It wasn't right for me to just take that money. I feel embarrassed enough that people gave us as much as they did over the time, even though I hope to make a career off this humor or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But so if you're man, this is a tough world, and people need some help. So it felt good to do that. And honestly, I feel a little embarrassed. I feel like I should have given him a chunk of my own. I got a job finally. I've been working a lot, and I could actually so do it, help the world. But let's get into this fantasy world of nothing but mayhem, grief, torture, death, regret, reunions, and the occasional funny quip about balls.
Oh, there's a lot of that.
I'm just describing our channel.
Oh.
Game of Thrones season 8. Here we go, episode 1, opening screenshot, bam! All right, so right off the bat, I was caught a little off guard. First, it loaded a little slow. We were sitting there going, oh, shit, is it going to be like, this has to be the most demand HBO's ever had on its service.
Yeah, final season HBO, Game of Thrones, of course.
Big-ass deal, man.
I was thinking that we should just, I was back in the old mentality, like, okay, let's go ahead and skip the opening scene. Let's not even bother with it, because the opening scene typically tells you, like, okay, what town are we going to focus on? What portion of the map are we going to deal with? And then I forgot, this is building off of a major event in the last season.
Yes.
The Jenga Tower.
The Jenga Tower. The white blocky Jenga towers. You just totally threw off my train of thought, God. So we see right away, though, there's this huge gap in the wall. It's not that symmetrical, though, by the way. Come on. But it was so cool. This whole opening sequence had this mechanical, these little tiles flipping over, and everything was very just beautifully made and done. And it was like this, the Mythbusters guys must be having erections in their graves.
I feel like they knew that this was the last season, so they're like, okay, we need to up our game. We've kept it kind of consistent every single season. We've thrown one new town in every here and there, and then up from season to season. This is the big finale. Let's, throw caution to the wind. Go big.
Yeah, go big, and they did go big, and they did this cool, like this flooding, flood that is traveling through.
I am so glad you took this screenshot right here because Last Hearth, that makes so much more sense to me. That's the closest town to the wall.
Okay. I was going to ask.
This makes so much more sense later on in the episode. Yeah. So I'm glad you captured that.
If you go all the way to Dorne, it's the first Hearth. That's where you can get to the other one. It's the other side of the continent. You know how there's two Portlands.
Sure.
So yeah, I didn't even catch this either, but Last Hearth.
That's the Umber's ancestral home. Umber.
Ancestral.
Ancestral.
Oh, I thought it sounded like you said incest. I guess all these homes are.
Well, I mean, I'm sure
there's
a certain degree of incest that happens everywhere within Game of Thrones and Westeros, but this is the ancestral.
Squirrels be fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They're just plain old nuts.
Yeah. Oh, was that a pun? An intentional pun?
Because squirrels love nuts.
They love nuts. They have two in their mouth.
It's the cleanest pun you could possibly come up with. Don't think of it the other way.
Okay. Moving on. Before we get an XXL rating over here.
My mind works.
You hanging out with me too much. You shouldn't have touched me. Maybe I'm turning you into a fright walker because my humor is frightfully not employable. Hearth, Kit Harington, that's pretty cool. We see that. We don't have every single moment of this. I did intentionally try not to go too much on the screenshots this time. We've done like 800. We have under 400 today. But it was just a really amazing opening shot too. It was like Mr. Rogers, you know how he's got the
trolley,
trolley that goes into the make-believe land. They don't got shit on this. Wouldn't they love to have a beautiful set like this? King Friday hanging out there, going, oh, be nice to each other, kids.
So there's the road. Old reference.
I'm trying to keep it current, man. Come on, I got some Linda Ronstadt jokes.
You need to dab a lot. I think that's what the kids like. Fortnite and dabbing.
Fortnite, yeah, and there's a dance through the Fortnite.
Yeah, and Apex I've been hearing a lot about now too. Is what the kids like.
LOLROFLAMAO.
No.
Golden Road or the King's Road, I think.
I'm guessing that's the King's Road.
Yeah, but they'd use like these golden coins. Speaking of golden coins, great shot of the weirwood tree. I thought that was pretty fun.
The face looks like it gained a little bit of weight. I'm a little concerned with it.
Face has been packing on the carbs a bit. Yeah, definitely. But hey, you know what? It's a free country. No, it's not actually. So it's just a bunch of dictatorships, monarchies. Oh, sorry, same thing. Michelle Clapton. This was the King's. No, yeah, that's what it was.
It goes inside the city.
These buildings. That was cool.
That's super cool. It never did that before.
Yeah, this was like Minecraft on steroids. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like really intricate blocky stuff on the inside.
I love stuff like this, machinations and mechanical things, and I spend a lot of time watching these like super difficult puzzles online that deal with like certain things like this, like gears and turning steampunk type.
Okay,
I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm totally in there.
Yeah, I think everybody likes a good Rube Goldberg kind of. Whoa, look at that thing. So this is the crypts where all the different Sean Bean deaths are kept. Yeah. They even changed these up. So I think I got there's another one coming up. So we got the Lannister lion. That's a lion, right? What is that?
That does look like, it looks like either a lion or a wolf. Kind of looks more like a wolf to me now that I look at it.
It is a little bit of a wolf. But this must be Robb Stark's head,
I don't know, because that looks
Summer's head.
That looks like a White Walker to me on the right-hand side. That doesn't look like a human.
Yeah, man, yeah. But that's this is the Frey Towers here. It looks like. And
it does look like the Frey Towers.
Is that a hanging? There's a noose. Wow, I thought this made sense when I watched. There's arrows in it, I believe.
Yeah, I don't quite know what's going on there. Yeah. But I mean, you can disagree with me, and I will buy it, but that doesn't seem to be a person.
This has very much got a lion quality, but also kind of a wolfy face.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
But that does look more like a White Walker to me. I don't know.
Over here, yeah. Well, you know what, James? They're not the only people with abs, all right? I'm going to have abs in about 7 months. Okay? I Googled how to get abs. And
your Sharpies are coming from Amazon Prime. You're going to draw them in.
Yeah, I'm going to color them on just in time for Halloween. King's Landing. All the little things here. You got the thing coming up. That's good. There's the Blackwater Bay.
Yep.
That's right. So yeah, we got some cool shots. Oh yeah, so we got
map.
A top down, the map on the floor,
which we've seen Cersei and Jaime stand on at least twice.
Do you think they have sex on it?
I would hope not.
Let's go bang in the Iron Islands. Speaking of Iron Islands, you know what I mean? Littlefinger.
Well, that's typically how people in Mexico do it. They have a map down there and they bang on the U.S. portion of it, so they're U.S. citizens.
Oh, yeah, that's in the Constitution.
Yep.
That's
Article
right.
3.
Article 3, section, get over here.
Yep. The Scorpion.
Scorpion. What? I want a map of our apartment on our apartment floor.
I once watched a really creepy movie about a man who lived in the attic of someone's house, or he lived in the basement of their house, and he drew a floor plan on the ceiling that represented where all their furniture was, so he could stab at them or something like that.
Oh boy, man,
It's kind of cool.
So let that be a lesson to everybody. Go down to the basement every once in a while.
Yep.
Yeah, you gotta check for spiders and ne'er-do-wells. This was the tower. I think they do often refer to this being such a difficult climb. Like it's an annoying thing to climb up there to talk to the king.
Right.
There. This is what Tommen jumped from. Wasn't that where he was kept isolated?
He may be, yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, you can die from like a 2-story fall. I knew a guy, he was on my softball team. He was having a fun time. Really athletic dude. One day he was drunk. He was sitting on a balcony, tipped over backwards, broke his neck.
Ooh, that sucks. I knew a guy in the 4th grade who had something fall on him, and he died.
Was he the Roadrunner?
No, he was,
it was a piano?
He was a little boy, but sheetrock fell
Well, I
on
shouldn't
him.
have made a joke.
It was kind of bad. There's a scholarship now in his honor.
Yeah, well, I take it back. Now I got to donate to them too. I mean, now the Patreons have to donate to them. Okay, that sucks. Man, the accidental death. I'm driving in my car sometimes. I'm just like, I could get smashed by a bus right now, and it's like I'm in my own episode of Final Destination, and I'm dead.
Yeah.
Although that's not how that would work. The knights, the king's red keep. This is forming into this.
Well, before that, I think it showed like the ballista that Qyburn built to shoot into the skull of the dragon.
That's right. That's in the basement. He's showing Cersei that they invented a ballista. Yeah, and here's the that's the Baratheon stag lion, or no, it's the lion. The lion has that.
That's the Lannister lion. Hear us roar.
Looks like he's like angrily tearing down like a Blockbuster video display, just like rawr, just standing on his two legs.
Man, your references are spot on accurate.
Blockbuster. What am I supposed to say? What? Hollywood Video? Which one was
I don't know, like a red box machine or something?
Video Snidio? There was a Video Snidio near me.
Every year that passes by, I grow further and further from the kids, which is probably a good thing because they're evil.
Well, they're not. It's not their fault they're evil. You were evil when you were their age.
No,
all children are evil.
No,
I mean, like teens.
It was a much more innocent time. We had Cowabunga, we had Cool, we had Tubular and Gnarly.
Snap bracelets.
We had MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice. It was a much more innocent time.
Yes, it was an innocent time because we didn't have the internet rotting everybody's brain.
They're monsters.
Yeah, they're not monsters. They can't help it. You try growing up in this fucked up world where no single adult has ever looked you in the eye.
I am so happy I grew up before the internet.
Because they're staring at their phone. I mean, it's horrible being a child these days with the fucking screens. I'm already... All right, so this cool, what's called a table chair. That's awesome. Got all the swords and stuff made.
You'd think that at least one of the thrones that we see would have some padding on it.
Yeah, it doesn't look comfy.
None of them have padding.
Especially not for like their sort of...
Daenerys doesn't. Cersei doesn't.
Like what if they had...
Come on.
So what they need is one of those hemorrhoids donuts. You know?
They would, yeah.
Like, somebody should file down the points.
I mean, we found out in the last episode of the previous season that Cersei is pregnant. Hemorrhoids kind of coming with pregnancy, I've heard.
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I've heard it, though.
That's how I got my hemorrhoid.
Maybe.
Yeah, that could be. I would just think your clothing would catch on it. Like you'd constantly be snagging on it. And like, oh shit!
Or when you conquer a new kingdom, it's like when the handyman comes and goes, "I'm sorry, Cersei, get up. I got to weld this other sword to the throne. You know, this is how it's built. You know."
Well, actually, is it an ongoing thing?
I would presume it has to be.
I think you would if you weren't so busy causing new wars. I think it was built in the past from conquered enemies, and then like, yeah.
But you got to keep it going. It's not like if we brought Puerto Rico into the fold of the U.S. officially as a state, it's not like we're not going to put a flag on the flag, star on the flag for them.
Right.
We got to do it. We got to solder that sword onto our throne.
Sure. That's true. That's an honorific, and this would be like a conquering symbol. But yeah, same thing, I guess. You know, subjugation and all. So another one of these dragons. This is the Khaleesi, though. It's got the little dragon there. I think that's the second one. There's a second one.
It's the third one there.
There's the big one. That's Drogon. And is that the comet that heralded her arrival?
That's a jet ski.
Yeah,
that's Euron. He has his jet skis in the Iron Fleet.
Euron leaving a swinger island with his jet ski. All right, I don't know why I think he's a swinger. Okay, so we open up with the little boy running, and I immediately thought this was like a Bran flashback.
I did as well.
I don't know why. He just looks like a kid from the past.
Had we been more eagle-eyed, we would have realized this is Ned Umber, aka Lord Umber, who was the son of Small Jon Umber, who was killed during the battle for Winterfell against the Boltons, and has since become Lord of House Umber.
Right. I would say that
Who is Lord of Last Hearth, which we saw in the opening screen.
Oh.
The closest city to the northern wall.
Right. So first, okay, yeah, for sure. By the way, this whole, what's the word? But monarchy through the descendants, through the children, and what's that called? Filial,
ancestral.
Yeah, whatever. Like, this doesn't work with children.
No, it doesn't.
I know that's a thing. Like, well, he's 4 years old, but he's the fucking king now. And then some manipulative guy like Littlefinger takes over and
It's pretty flawed.
Yeah, it's not a great system.
It worked out well with the Mormonts, probably not so well with this kid.
Yeah, Lady Mormont, the young woman, is very rare for children. She's grown up because she's grown up in this nation of savages. But anyway, we get a whole bunch of Arya. We kind of get to watch this scene unfold through Arya's POV.
So the moment we see Arya, the dumb people in the crowd, aka you and me, who didn't recognize Lord Umber immediately, Ned Umber, realize this is happening in the present. This is not a flashback. This is Winterfell right now, and the Unsullied are charging in.
Winter ought to get up, man. You know what I'm saying? So the kid climbs a tree, takes a look, and we see the Unsullied. They really look out of place in the snow in the winter time. I mean, they're from the far distant, like mountain sandy area, the Essos, and here they are in the north of Winterfell.
They are literally out of their element.
Quite literally.
And I should say, just as a plug right
Great
here.
shot. I love this.
I did 2 shots of the Winter is Coming official Game of Thrones branded alcohol before I came up here, which is why I'm getting some enunciations incorrectly, but I'm trying very hard to hold it together.
Okay, cool. I got a seltzer water swig. Sorry, everybody.
Did you feel like anything like in your chest when you saw this thing, when you saw Winterfell being not invaded but supported by these masses of armies coming across the horizon?
I played the Total War series of video games, which does these kind of like large group troop movements like this, so it reminded me of that. But yeah, in a way, we've seen Winterfell be violated almost as avatar. I don't know what the right word is, but symbolically, as all the children were sort of being violated. They're taken over by Theon. They're taken over by the Boltons. The North was all in shambles because a bunch of badass. I don't mean badass in a good way, but bad assholes had taken over. And now it's back under Stark control, and they're getting some support here.
This was kind of like a rebirth, though. It reminded me of Season 1, Episode 1, where Arya Stark and Bran were running and climbing and trying to see what was going on. They were excited. They didn't really know what was happening in Winterfell. It was kind of the same thing, but there was, I don't want to say like a swelling or something. It was like just like a surge of emotion seeing this happening that was really rare for anything I've seen in recent memory.
That explains why you started sobbing while we were watching this. I was a little confused.
I was trying not to. But it got even more so when it got to the second screenshot from this point, and the music swelled up, but we'll get there. Yeah,
it was cool. It was all right. Yeah, so then we get this nice little reveal through the troops walking past the camera. And boom, there's our lovely young couple. Handsome as always. Handsome and sexy. And who am I describing? Both of them. They are in it to win it.
Now, I don't know.
Prime of their lives.
I would have advised Daenerys.
His second life.
Yeah, Daenerys probably should have come without the horns, but it would have made, You
mean he's here a little.
Yeah.
That's right. And this is his alien gun. In the movie Alien. Is that a current enough reference for you? I meant to say Predator, but
works for me. Predator. I got what you meant.
Yeah. Thank you for understanding. You get me so much. You get me. No one else gets me, James.
No.
Want another hug?
Oh, I'm quite good.
I mean, the first
that high five was enough for me.
All right, that'll hold you over for another 6 years. God. Do you want to start shopping for nursing homes together? We should.
I would love to retire
You're watching James fall down. All right. Tripped on his big toe. Okay. All right, so the horses are snorting cocaine.
Great screenshot.
They're snorting mashed up Quaaludes. And we got some cool guys. And Arya sees Jon. She gets a little smile.
She comes back to Winterfell because she hears that Jon is Lord of the North, King of the North, and she never gets to reunite with him. So she finally sees him. There's something in her heart that she hopes that he sees her and recognizes her, but he does not see her.
Yeah. Nope, didn't see me.
Yeah.
Oh, look at her.
You captured the pain perfectly.
Yeah, I saw it happening. But then, of course, it's a parade of folks, so she sees other people she recognizes. I just want to point out this cool like stitching thing on her thing. It's like having a shoe on her chest.
If I were her, I would have just tried to freak Jon out by putting on Ned Stark's face. And be
my God.
I'm Ned Stark. I dance a little jig. Like, why am I so short? I don't know.
Breathe, boy. Breathe before you shoot your arrow. She starts giving him like arrow lessons, like how to be a Stark.
When you put the face on, you're supposed to grow to the height, but I would try to exhibit that.
Do they really? Is that part of the magic?
I think so.
Yeah, because she says to Sansa, I'm jumping way ahead here, but like, no, that's in season 7 where she's like menacing Sansa in her room, and she's like, all I need is your face, and I can run this place. It's like, yeah, but you're like you're a foot shorter than
she was. Walder Frey, and he was not short.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he was old man short, sitting down.
Yeah, but she's like, even for a woman, she's pretty tiny.
Yeah, I don't know her height. I'm guessing in the low 5, like 5'3"-ish, 5'4" or something. But that height is not an inhibitor to being an assassin. Okay?
No, it makes you actually a better assassin. You go after their Achilles.
Oh, indeed, just like in that movie Child's Play.
You mean Pet Sematary?
Same thing. All right, so
she sees Gendry. She and Gendry have always kind of had a thing.
Well, buddy, a friendly thing.
No, she saw him without a shirt on one time, and she gave him the stare.
Well, that's just normal.
No, she did.
I don't think. Yeah,
she's gonna end up with Gendry. You know it.
Okay, maybe.
Look at those eyes. She's gonna end up with.
Hey,
she and Gendry. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, when he gets aroused, his ears straighten up. No, maybe. But he's a blacksmith. He's gonna have a nice arm. Both 2 nice arms, probably, and a good chest.
Which is why she gravitates towards him.
I have a video editor body. I look like a sack of potatoes that got zapped by gamma rays.
But you can edit it to your favor.
That's right. I can fucking mask that shit out and color correct the abs right back on me. Oh, okay, so she sees Gendry. It's a nice thing. This is in one of the things here where Varys and what do they call that? Not a litter though. A litter is the ones they carry. You know, like when the Roman dudes, like the slave guys, are carrying.
Yeah, this is a carriage.
This is a carriage. Yeah, it says like a wagon here. And they have this little back and forth about balls. About Varys doesn't have balls. Varys says something about you being offended by dwarf jokes, but you make eunuch jokes. That's not cool, man. What's up with that? And he says, because I have balls. Doubles down on his joke.
Yeah, I feel like they're actually tossing Varys a bone here. No pun intended.
Yeah, well.
Because he doesn't have a lot of screen time in the past couple episodes of the last season or this season as of yet. Which was good to kind of hear from him again. And
it's also, he and Tyrion have a rapport that is sort of entertaining. They seem to get each other. They're both highly intelligent and manipulative and smart, and so they're like 2 rooks on the chessboard. You know what I mean? They're equals in some ways. I'm not suggesting every way. So this is Missandei, and I had incorrectly predicted. I predicted she's going to die this season on a Deadpool. I'm doing a Deadpool with my work. And then I said Melisandre, and then you and I got into a little, not fight, but it wasn't even close to a fight. But like, we were confused about Melisandre, Missandei, Sauron, Saruman.
Yeah,
easy mistake to make.
Yeah. But Melisandre is the one who went to Volantis, and she says she's going there to die. I don't...
Because you said, she's in Volantis. I was like, why would she...
Yeah, I would not expect to ever see her again. Missandei, though, absolutely, I would see her again.
Yeah, for sure. One of my faves, man. Look at her. She's awesome. You really think the Red Woman won't be back?
I think her story's over.
Yeah, but she's got more to do.
I don't think she does. I think the resurrection of Jon Snow was the completion of her arc.
Yeah, no, I mean, of course, that certainly would be a nice way to end an arc, but it's a whole other season to go, and she's powerful, and she'll get naked, and she's also a freaky old woman. You know, remember that?
I will metaphorically put down $20. She will never show up again.
Nope. I disagree. One of these Unsullied dudes is going to be wearing that big jeweled necklace.
Okay, I will put my money where my mouth is and say she does not show up again.
She's changing her skin. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
I recently, in the past 3 weeks, had to pay out money because I was wrong about something. I stick by my word.
All right, fair enough. Well, of course you will, but I don't know. You don't have to give any money if she comes back. It's fine.
I feel that strongly, though.
I hear you. Look at these little rings on there. What are these guys? Fans of the Olympics? What's going on with this? Do they all have Audis? It's weird.
I didn't notice that either.
That's why we do the shot by shots. We can pick up little weird details. Love this setting here. I thought this was just felt very real. It felt very authentic. That the townsfolk are lining up to watch the noble lords arrive, but are also seeing this kind of weird invasion. I mean, they're not trusting. This is sort of part of the sequence here. They talk about how you have to earn the North's trust. So you're not naturally trusting people, so nor should they be necessarily. This and Unsullied, just a final thing.
Go for it.
The Dothraki and the Unsullied must just look like wild something out of, you know what I mean? Like way in the distant past, if you're in China and a white guy came strolling in, you're like, oh my god, what the fuck is that? And vice versa, you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So this was the whole through line of the episode, which was kind of foreshadowed in the final episode of season 7, where Daenerys Targaryen had essentially wanted to basically rain fire and blood with her dragons down on the Citadel on King's Landing, but was talked out of it by Tyrion Lannister. The reason being...
And Jon Snow, too.
Well, probably Jon Snow as well, yes. But the whole thing is that the Targaryens are seen as invaders. They are not part of Westeros. They have been exiled, and they're coming back as foreigners, and they are never going to win the support of the North or any of the Seven Kingdoms as foreigners.
Right.
So the initial plan was that they would do what they did, on the fringes of the battlefield, while the Tyrells and everyone would basically invade King's Landing. That was the initial plan before everything kind of went to crap.
Yeah.
So now the backup plan is to go into the North, into Winterfell, but they have to remember that the North does not trust them. The North elected Jon Snow by unanimous decree to be king in the North.
The king in the North!
They did not approve of him bending the knee to a foreigner queen, a Targaryen nonetheless.
With silver hair.
Yes, who they do not know and they do not support.
Right.
So they look at her as an usurper. They look at her as an invader. They don't know what to think of her, and the only reason they don't attack her outright is the fact that she has an army, dragons, and Jon Snow is by her side. Usurper
all the way, for sure. Or as I like to call them, syruper. So that should be a brand of syrup.
From a weirwood tree.
This is blood, just bloody tears.
Would be bloody syrup.
Is that sugary? I wonder. Like, there should be like little bugs just like drinking from it that get stuck in amber. Ooh, red amber. Whoa. So the people are just like, look at you. I'm gonna be pooping out my beets later, thinking about this. But then Dany sort of asserts her dominance, just basically showing off. This is essentially like the NFL, the military planes flying over the stadium. The dragons arrive, and you hear them before you see them generally, kind of, right? Or is that footsteps? And so they go rawr, and they fly by. Everybody starts panicking and screaming. Arya's like, I gotta get me one of those. Yeah, that's awesome. She's all about it. And it does reassure that Dany says, like, yep, she sort of smiles up here.
The fact that she smiles, though, worries me a little bit, because I believe there was some sort of dialogue that happened in Dragonstone a long time ago where Tyrion was consulting her, saying something along the lines of, fear is temporary, rule by fear is fragile, but rule by respect is hardened.
This is true.
And now, her only claim to rule over these people, right now, by the virtue of those dragons, is fear.
Yes, but I would say, like, in this moment, it's not like she's deliberately trying to provoke terror, although it is a show of force and a demonstration of her power. And it's like the dragons were mythologized. They'd been so distant in the past.
The North has never seen them.
Most people had never seen them, and so just seeing one alone, it's like when you see a Ferrari. You're like, whoa, they're real. I used to have a poster of like a Porsche on my wall when I was a kid because... That's stupid.
When I worked at Beverly Hills, there was a guy who parked his like $2 million Ferrari or whatever the heck it was on the street, and I would always have trouble getting by the sidewalk because tourists would always be gathering around it, oohing and awing, like, oh my god, look at that! It's a freaking car. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah. It's just a big compensator for his tiny weenie.
I know. It's like, come on, guys.
I have such a small penis. I drive a Prius.
I would love to drive a Prius. Prius is a great car.
Based on your car, James, your dick must be about 100 feet long.
My car is... I love my car.
James's car... Fred Flintstone has a better car than you.
Hey, I love it.
I'm talking about when it's on its side because the giant ribs tipped it over. So anyway, Sansa watches the dragons fly over her head, and she's like, whoa, damn, that's crazy. Oh, there's a yellow one, too.
I was hoping one was going to poop on her.
I bet it's hot. Just a big, warm puddle, man.
It's got to happen eventually,
Yeah.
But the question is,
and like a goat skull's
will it be white or will it be black? Because birds have that power. If you drive a white car, birds fly over, they're going to drop the black poop. You drive a black car, they're going to drop the white poop. They know.
It's the color of their skin. Or no, it's the color of what they eat.
No, they have a switch.
They have a switch.
And they turn it.
Like if they eat blue stuff, it's kind of a blue poop.
Yep.
They get white poop because they eat my skin. That made no sense. That's why I said skin earlier, because I was thinking of that. And all right. I wrote that several weeks ago. Okay. No. So anyway, everybody's getting a first glimpse of the dragons. We're sort of it is kind of like the realization of the whole show in a way where I mean, I know Dany arrived in the previous season, but now that everything's back in Westeros, it's kind of a relief not to be bothering with Marine and knocking statues around and stuff, you know.
But I was thinking, like, if I was a person in Winterfell right now and I just heard that the armies of the undead were coming from the north, I would be terrified. But then I saw something like this, I'd be like, holy crap, they're on my side.
Right.
Go get them.
Yeah,
Heck
yeah. Like
that would be
right.
awesome.
Like, you know, the invaders are on their way, like Canada is on their way down, and then we have some tanks. And we're like, yeah, we got tanks.
Yeah, I mean, this is
Canada.
It's like, we can't lose. Look at this.
Yeah. No, it must be nice. It's probably both terrifying and reassuring, just like most military weapons are, kind of, in a way. So we get a nice overhead shot of Winterfell here. Good little map. You know.
So where did Bran get kicked off?
Kicked off? Oh, where did he fall from? What tower was he climbing? Greek? I think this one.
Huh.
Well, it wasn't. It had to have straight walls, right?
Yeah.
Or he had to be at the bottom of something. Yeah, it would have been.
I don't know.
Could have been. It was circular, wasn't it? Because it could have been this face right here, maybe.
I don't know. I just commend whoever rakes the driveway, because that's a pretty nice.
Right
yeah, that's pretty well done.
You know how you see faces and things? This is a mouth. It's just like it's a puking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great. If this were a video game, you'd have like little gold indicators and coins and stuff. Like, oh, this is where the NPC that sells you the.
Like, oh, I gotta go turn in this quest. It's all the way in the Citadel on the 5th level of the basement. God darn it! I gotta run all the way down there. There's gonna be 7 loading screens.
Yeah, that's funny. What time of day do I need to be in the Enchanted Woods to meet the fairy that gives me the special pauldrons?
Oh, but I can't rest here because there's too many enemies nearby.
Yeah, you can't make camp.
Yeah.
All right, so in walks into the gate Jon Snow, and waiting for him is there with Dany and everybody. And he
sees Bran, Stephen Hawking's himself, waiting inside the city gates, and he jumps off his horse and runs up and kisses him before he realizes that Bran has turned into a creepy little boy.
Yeah, he's super emo these days. Seeing Hawking. Maybe.
Yeah, basically the same interaction that that Sansa had with him.
Yeah.
Emotional, and then like, ooh.
He should have made a joke and be like, oh, I should have given you the sword.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be in it. Okay, so there's Bran. Yeah,
he's like,
your legs, the wheels. How did it happen? Your legs got turned into wheels. But this was the moment you referred to a little earlier, which is very reminiscent, or part of the whole opening sequence of the very first episode season 1, episode 1, where there's this kind of receiving line for royalty coming up from the south here in the courtyard of Winterfell.
Yeah, I love that Lady Mormont was there.
Yeah. Yeah,
she's looking as happy as ever. She looks
Podrick,
like Wednesday Addams.
Yeah, kind of. That part, look at that thing. I haven't seen a part that big since Moses. You get it, James?
The Red Sea.
Bible joke. Bible jokes, everybody. You're at the right place. The home of Bible jokes.
Well, yeah, I mean, Sansa's got a decent part going on if you go back. Yeah, she goes.
I think anybody... Look at this guy's part. This guy's got a huge part. Look at that. All the way back.
Okay, he wins.
I have a huge part myself. My hair started...
you won the biggest part.
Yeah, I started growing apart when I was 19 years old, so I can make fun of everybody's hair because I was a balding teenager. You can all go fuck yourself. My sister, Lady Stark, so he's introducing them. A little coldness, not super friendly, not that you'd expect him to be, because no one expected a new queen, a new ruler to show up.
Yeah, so Sansa is taking this kind of by surprise. She is recently learned that her brother, or her assumed to be brother, Jon Snow, has bent the knee after she and others had elected him king of the North.
Yeah, she should have said, straighten the knee.
So she sees that as a defiance against the North, and an allegiance with a foreigner, being Daenerys Targaryen. Suffice to say, she's not a fan. Not a fan,
but going along with it now that the king is back.
She's maintaining pleasantries.
Yeah. Fair enough. And they're starting to have a little small talk, and Bran's like, we don't have time for this. It's all happening right now. He's got one of your dragons. They're on their way right now. What are we doing?
And that was important because nobody knew. We knew as the audience, but she didn't know. Now she knows.
Oh, so this is her learning that the dragon is resurrected.
She had no idea they dragged him out of the deep and resurrected him.
Yeah, Bran, you know what he needs? He needs one of those like Star Wars hologram projectors and like show like a little, look, here it happened. And he uses like a Spider-Man hand wrist turn to turn it on. All right, the dead march south. This is just him talking about his diarrhea.
She's talking about the tour pattern of the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, they're marching. They're dragging all their stuff.
Yes, the roadies have the trunks. So they're just like.
Sansa's like, okay. And all right, so back into the hall, we're having kind of a meeting of the captains, the different bosses and whatever. the capos, I guess.
Yeah.
We need more horses. This kid is this the same kid at the very beginning?
Very same kid from the beginning.
Umber.
She calls upon Lord Umber, and this kid jumps to action.
She says, your people aren't here yet. So this is his excuse / his explanation.
Right.
Right? Hurry back. She says, okay, take some of our stuff, go get him.
She mentions Last Hearth being the ancestral home of them, which is what we saw in the opening credits, which is going to come back a little bit later.
Do you ever notice the word heart and hearth are very similar? Just like the fireplace, the hearth is the heart of a house, of a building. Before we invented heating and electricity and shit, you just gathered around the fireplace. That's where you warmed up your ironing disc. It's where Abe Lincoln used to read by firelight.
My family's house back in Virginia did have a fireplace, and we did get around at one time until we heard like a scratching sound. We didn't really know what the scratching sound was, but it persisted for the rest of the night.
Santa? And
then it persisted for the next week, and we're like, what is this weird sound? We found that there was a very emaciated, scorched squirrel that had gone down the chimney.
Yeah.
And we opened the flue, and he came out. I was like, wow, that's disgusting.
He came out. It made it sound like he came out of his own volition. Like he walked out and went,
No.
Were his eyes blue?
He had to be released, yes.
What did you do with the body? Dinner?
He was alive. He ran out the door.
What?
Yeah.
She said scorched.
Well, he was a little bit scorched. He was ashen, I should say.
Oh, okay. Sooted up.
Yes, he was very hungry and very ashen.
I would think even if the heat doesn't kill it, just the hot smoke would probably kill it.
Well, the fire wasn't on for long because it was on for sufficiently little amount of time that we didn't feel necessary to open the flue to let the smoke out. So it was like, oh, let's light it up. Oh, that's cool. Let's put it back out now.
And then the squirrel came down.
Yes, and the squirrel just happened to be there.
Okay, well, great times. So they're all seeing these, and Lady Mormont, what's her name? The Bear Island.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is where Jon Snow's contacts mess up a little bit and things get a little bit blurry.
Yeah.
But,
his contacts. Anyway, she kind of calls him out. She's got
she is
speaking
upset.
of balls.
She was one of the ones that stood up and basically proclaimed unity and proclaiming him king of the North.
Yeah.
So she's saying, wait a minute, I made you king of the North, we made you king of the North, you're going out to a foreigner, you bend the knee, you're coming back with this woman you were telling us is the queen, what do I call you now? You're not my liege, you're not my grace, what are you if nothing? If you've relinquished your crown, what do I refer to you as?
Yeah, what would you call him?
Jon Snow.
Yeah, Jon Snow. That's right, to fight alongside us, and she, so he explains, I swore to either I was going to be your king or I was going to protect the North, and I decided to protect the North.
He makes a very compelling argument as far as I'm concerned.
He was more eloquent than I just was there, but he basically said, I did what I had to do.
They don't buy it, though.
I'm not trying to be your king, I'm trying to protect you.
Yeah, I mean, every single time he has been given power, offered power, he does the same thing. He goes, I don't want it.
Yeah, it's not fair. I didn't want to be king. But he also, every time he brings in, like, their sworn enemies. Like the wildlings he brought into Castle Black, that's what got him killed up there. Now he's bringing in enemies down from the south. He's going to get stabbed by the little girl.
Yeah.
But he's also being responsible. That's the difficulty of being a leader. That's why I'm not a leader. Mm-hmm. I've gone years without paying taxes. Not lately. Don't worry.
Of tomorrow.
No, I got this year's good.
It's like the Men in Black aren't going to come and drag you out of this place, are they?
No, but I hope they come and flash me with their memory zapper
And give you the noisy cricket.
Yeah, is that what that's called?
The little tiny gun that blows everything up.
Yeah, no. I'm good. It's all good. Don't open mail from the government, everybody. Just don't open mail from the government. That's my advice to you.
Unless it's jury duty, because every time you take jury duty, it's one less person that comes to me.
I have jury duty next Monday.
Oh, God.
It's brutal. I have to call the night before and see if they need me or something, but they're going to. And
I had to serve on a jury like 2 years ago, and I was like...
You did like a week?
Yeah, and it was like, they tell you, it's the most rewarding part of your life. It's like, no, it was horrible. I still feel bad about it. Even though I feel like I did the right thing, I still feel bad.
It feels like your civic duty, but I don't have a lot of faith that the justice system is actually designed all that fairly.
I'm not qualified to be a judge, jury.
When I had to go to jury duty the last time, I raised my hand, I said to him, sorry everybody, it's a distraction. I go, so wait a minute, this is a medical case? And I go, the prosecution is going to have an expert, the defense is going to have their expert, and you're going to ask us, non-experts, to decide which expert to listen to? I said that to the judge.
That's democracy, that's how it works.
I know, but I was like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I just tried to make it seem like I'd be a pain in the ass. By the way, if I don't work, I don't get paid. I can't. That's why main reason I don't want to go to fucking jury duty. It's going to cost me $1,000 or something if it's 5 days. Not that I make $200 a day. I don't make that much. But all right, fine. Keep my crown or protect the North. See, chose the North. He would go to jury duty because he's honorable, unlike you and me.
Other people like Theon would just rip up the notice.
Yeah,
stupid freaking moralist Theon. Anyone who's ever done that has sent me to jury duty. So how dare you?
Yeah. Yeah. The case I did was for a detached penis. Slice. No, it was not. If anyone survives the war to come, it will be because of Jon Snow, is what Tyrion says here. And he's even more persuasive, I think, than Jon Snow. And, of course, there's logistics to worry about. Right. Sansa says, hey, look, dude, because she's been worrying about all this crap, making sure people have food.
Yeah, she has the entire Excel spreadsheet out. She's pivoted out all the different resources she has. And she says that...
Conditional formatting?
Yes, her Summit formula does not account for the additional Dothraki, Unsullied, or the dragons.
2 full-grown dragons. And she even says, what do they eat anyway? And a little bit of sass, a little bit of sassy laser eyes here coming up. Daenerys goes, anything they want,
whatever they want,
whatever they want, bitch. And a horse just laughs.
So there's something important that we missed the screenshots of, and that is that after Jon appealed to the logic of the audience and was rejected, Tyrion stood up and said, basically, I'm going to take this over. Talking is what I do. The Lannisters are going to march forward to our, Winterfell, and they're going to back us up.
Yeah.
And people kind of groaned about that. And he was like, yes, I know we are not all friends in the past, but they are coming and they're going to help us.
Right.
And that kind of shows, a little bit of a lapse of judgment for him, because as we learned in the prior episode of the prior season, the Lannisters did say they were going to do that, and Tyrion believed it because of the pregnancy of Cersei and the fact that she has something to live for right now, but she has no intention whatsoever of sending any troops. She's going to let them go up there, get massacred by each other, and then whatever's left she'll deal with.
True, that's her plan. In a way, though, I think Tyrion knows it's probably... I mean, he's not that stupid. I think he'll at least have a contingency plan for when that doesn't work. Not that he knows exactly what he can predict, so it's hard to plan. But he knows. You almost have to sort of... a lot of diplomacy and political relationships are built on mutual bullshit. Kind of all just agreeing to the same denial, the same lie. So there's a bit of that going on, maybe, and I could be just making crap up.
They all know it too, because as soon as they, in the last episode of the previous season, they were basically saying something along the lines of, as soon as we march north, the Lannisters is going to just take this up as an opportunity to take back all the land that they previously lost.
Yeah.
So nobody trusts anybody.
Sure. Yep, that's true. Then they have a good reason not to until the winter comes, and then the White Walkers have to be fought. So we have, I thought this was coal because I'm dumb, and then I realized it was obsidian chunks. So
Dragon glass.
And I like saying obsidian. This is a good word. Gendry is kind of leading the work here with the dragon glass. He's a blacksmith. I guess he knows how to work with it, I suppose.
As soon as I saw this, I was wondering, can you melt it down?
Yeah, I assume they'd be flaking it like old timey rocks,
like carving it like you ever go to an old field and look for Indian arrowheads and things like that. Yeah. That's what I thought it would be. But
I did that in a class. They actually let us smash rocks together, and I cut my hand.
Nice.
It was fun though. I actually enjoyed it. You use a big leather thing, and you just hit these rocks really hard, and you get these chips, and then you look at them and you go, I could kill you with this. So Tyrion wanders up and he sees Sansa hanging out with Lord, is that Royce or something? He's look at back there. They were having a meal.
Hey.
Aww. Oh wait, that thing's not. Yeah, okay. Sansa lets him come in. The guy dismisses by not even acknowledging Tyrion beyond a stare.
And they have history. They were once wed to one another.
That's right.
So he was respectful to her and did not consummate the marriage against her wills.
This is their exes here. This is like when my mom and dad had to go to one of our graduations and stand on the opposite sides of the photo.
This is one of the first private moments in a reunion between two pivotal characters.
Both of whom have been through an awful lot.
Yeah, last time we spoke was at Joffrey's wedding. It's been that long.
Wow.
And I love that she said that it had its ups and downs. It had its moments. Yeah. Like she's referring to the moment when Joffrey choked to death on his poison.
Miserable affair. And she's like, yeah, okay. There was one moment I really liked.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's good. It's a good line. I don't recall exactly the brunt of most of the conversation. Mostly just about...
Well, this conversation was about him trying to reassure her the Lannisters had their back. And she said, I thought you were the most clever man... She said, I thought you were the cleverest man I'd ever met.
Right.
And then walked away as if to say, how can you be so dense?
Right.
She is not coming to help you. She has deceived you.
It's like you're fooling yourself if you trust her. There you go. The cleverest man alive. No. That's the most interesting man alive. Dos Equis, everybody. Drink it. Stands for 2 horses. You want to go get some?
I might go do another shot of Johnny Walker's.
All right, pause. We'll go get some.
Really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, James, we're in charge here. We can stop and take a break. Okay, James is refueled. We've got a seltzer. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Cold, my favorite flavor. So Sansa, gives him a little bit of compliment, but also sort of an insult, saying, you're being a dumbass. Actually, you're not as smart as I thought you were, you idiot. Of course, Bran is looking up because he sees everything.
Yeah, he's playing a little trumpet.
Yeah. That's the tiny violin.
Yeah.
He just hangs out in the courtyard. He just sort of sits around watching stuff. I guess maybe though he probably can't. They don't have ramps. I don't mean that in a joke. It's just like it's not like they had the ADA to. He can't go everywhere.
He just hangs out with other wheels.
Yeah, right over here.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's his best friend.
They form up in form of Voltron.
I take that back. That was insensitive.
It's all right. You're being really, really impolite.
Yeah,
pulley systems.
Yeah, if I ever had to live in a situation where I was in a wheelchair, I wouldn't last for a day. So
no, you wouldn't.
I would not. Nope. It's a struggle that I would never overcome.
That's right.
So I give nothing but respect.
I've been saying that for years. So Tyrion's looks down at him. Now, has these two ever really interacted?
I would say probably in the earliest seasons. I believe, and I could be wrong about this, but I think that in the earlier seasons, when he initially had his paralysis, that Tyrion was the one who helped him build a saddle so he could ride again.
Yeah, he had the drawing, the schematic for the saddle thing. Yeah, that's right. So now we're at the weirwood tree. Jon Snow business is a famous location, the weirwood wide web, where Bran likes to log on to the Raven Formation Superhighway. Mm-hmm. I'm really stretching here, James. And we got the good face here. Remember the round fat face from the beginning? This is more like the actual face.
That doesn't really match up for me.
Now, if this were today, there'd be graffiti all over it, and there'd be like a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah.
Like a nose ring.
There would just be like a big carving etched below it. It says Fortnite and then a wing.
Fortnite, and then like some people's like lovers. I think, do people do that anymore? Every time I've made out with a girl, I've carved their names into like a nearby library.
Oh, I thought you were going to say into their torso.
No. You don't carve into torsos.
Barbarian it.
Carve into trees and libraries. No, but that whole thing, like, Billy plus CJ.
I've never felt the compulsion to do that.
And in a heart, carve a heart. Like, I don't have time to carve a heart. You gotta be texting, man.
That's why you brand them.
Not the person.
Yes,
the tree.
you do. So no other man can ever take her.
Outrageous.
Brand them.
Nope. I say go out there and get as much orgasms as you can. All right, John, how did you sneak up on me? That's her thing. She sneaks up. She's a creep now. Literally, she creeps. Oh no! Of course,
that's actually terrifying. Chuckles.
Yeah.
That's horrific.
Chuckles.
Oh my god, she's got a very symmetrical face. Yeah. Holy crap!
Yeah, get used to it.
Look at that.
Obviously, you've never looked into my face. No, I'm just joking.
One
of my eyes is about 2 inches.
That is not a flattering shot of Arya at all.
Yep. No. What do you mean? Symmetry is actually the mark of beauty.
Right, but she's charging it like a pig warrior.
No, she's just reacting with a smile. It's okay.
No, which in the moment is fine, but when you capture it in a still moment, it's a little off-putting.
This is true. So there they have a hug. This is nice. These two had a nice, feeling for each other because he was the bastard.
No, this was
and
great.
She was sort of the youngest and the runt of the litter, and he gave her needle way back when they first departed.
Now she looks normal again. She looks great.
Okay. He goes, you still have it? And he goes, yep. She pulls out her needle. You've used it much? She goes, once or twice. Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, so this basically says he has no idea the horrors that she has gone through and committed with that weapon.
Yeah.
Nor is she willing to kind of put that burden on him by telling him what she's been through.
Yeah, or what that how many heads that sword has been inside.
Yeah.
There was a Antiques Roadshow episode once, and the guy had a Civil War sword, like like the commanders, the generals have their like side swords.
Of those.
You do?
Yeah.
Antiques Roadshow, man, take it in. And the guy the expert's like, this is belonged to this guy. He was this commander. Mm-hmm. This is worth about $35,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And the guy goes, he goes, I've been using it to cut watermelons. He was stunned.
Wait a minute. The two Civil War sabers, or not sabers. I have the sabers, but I also have the guns with the bayonets on them underneath my dad's bed back at home.
Oh my god.
You're saying they could be worth something?
You really are from Virginia.
Holy crap.
Yeah, no, they're probably worth a good amount.
Oh my god.
I mean, if they can establish its pedigree or whatever, but I think I don't know how much of them there were.
They have like flowers and stuff engraved on the thing. So my parents always said, they're not worth much. They're ceremonial. They were for like a general or something.
Well, a little advice, my friend. Let them keep thinking that, but make a claim. Like keep it, be like, oh, you know what?
I used to have sword fights with my friend, and my parents screamed at me. He's like, "Put those down! Those are antiques."
Yeah,
we're having our
they're
sword
probably
fight.
denting them and stuff.
No, we didn't hurt them.
Oh, all right, well,
they caught us in time.
Did you kill any squirrels?
No, I love squirrels.
Butter some toast. All right, so Chuckles. No, so what the hell's going on with these gloves here? And he's holding. I thought that was a finger. I was like, what's This is him showing her long claw.
Yep.
He's like, check out my sword. It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's kind of screwed up, though. It's like, you've got needle, now look at the real sword, Valyrian steel. Are you jealous?
No, but it's more just like, check out my cool toy. You know, that's what that is. Like when you get a new video game controller.
Yeah, it's like, it's like, hey, John, I haven't seen you in a couple of years. Look, I got an iPad mini. Look at my iPod Pro.
Yeah, I get you. But he wants. She's impressed. It's Valyrian. It's pretty cool. It's fancy. It's got a wolf head on it. It's pretty fun. Where were you before? I don't know. She's talking about Sansa here. Basically saying, yeah, she's really smart. She can handle stuff.
Yeah. You know, she's in real life. She's like ridiculously cool.
Who, Arya, the actor?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, seems like a lot of fun. Smart, intelligent. By the way, is it weird to put a little girl actor, you know, or any child actor through like, I'm gonna rape you, little girl, and she's like 9 years, even though it's another actor, and like, but it's funny that you can put children in positions of immense adult responsibility and nuance if it's acting.
I feel like it educates you and makes you stronger as a person.
Perhaps
if you do it the right way.
But she seems like a fairly advanced for her age type of person anyway, as a kid. Yeah, I was an old soul, James.
It's a tough decision.
I wanted to retire before I got a job. No, but you know what I mean, though? Anyway, all right, so she's good. She's like, yeah, all right. She's just looking after her family. I'm her family, too. Right. We're all family.
But what she is saying is that she's saying that her loyalties, the fact that Jon is looking at Sansa and sees that Sansa has nothing but distrust and disloyalty towards Daenerys, and he expects to have her camaraderie. Right. Because she has always kind of opposed Sansa. Now he's looking at her and saying that she is falling in line with Sansa, saying she also has distrust and disloyalty to Daenerys.
Yeah.
And wants him to remember that he is part of the family, and that family comes before loyalties to other monarchs.
Like, don't forget, I'm doing what's best for the family.
Exactly.
Too. Yeah.
So she's humbling him, but also saying that she's glad he's back.
Yeah. They had, and I actually always found their friendship, their connection quite genuine and sincere, and it's nice that they both survived enough to have another hug fest.
I love that she also, the first time she asked him, how did you survive a dagger to the heart? He goes, I didn't.
Yeah, that was a good line.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, you did. You're alive, idiot. So King's Landing here with the Blockbuster Video, angry Blockbuster Video customer lion.
So where exactly did the king land?
Well, he would have jumped out of one of these and landed right down here.
Yep, Tommen was here. He should be in the cement.
It really is. You pointed that out the other day, that King's Landing, perfect description of what happens. Yeah, it's just also a sad thing. Here's the Red Keep, it looks like. And
here's one thing I don't get. In the prior episode, the prior season, Cersei looks at Tyrion and says, it is your fault that Tommen is dead. It is your fault that Marcella is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Had Tywin been here, no one would have dared touch them.
Yeah.
Now, I understand Marcella. Right. I don't understand Tommen. What does she mean by that? That makes no sense to me.
That
he killed himself.
Was maybe that
because of what she did.
But the Faith Militant forced all that off. She's a narcissist. I think she sees it as that her hand was forced by the Faith Militant to do that terrorist attack with the green fire. And
that was her, though.
I know. She did the kill. She did that, which then led to Tommen jumping. But none of that would have happened had Tywin been around, because the Faith Militant wouldn't have done that. Like, the conditions in which that happened probably wouldn't have arisen had Tywin been calling the shots.
So she's relinquishing herself of all guilt, all responsibility whatsoever.
Yeah.
No wonder I hate her.
Yeah, she's evil. I mean, that's one thing evil people do is they waffle.
They play the victim.
They create terror in other people, and then they act like they're the ones being victimized.
Yeah.
And they're incapable of acknowledging their own faults and flaws.
Yeah, I know someone like that.
Yeah, it's almost like people like that shouldn't have power.
Yes.
Yeah, gee, what a mistake. So, did you say your sister?
My sister is just like Cersei.
Oh, okay. She's not going to become the president, is she?
She better not. If she does, I'm fleeing this country.
Well, she's probably more qualified than the person we have. All right, so, Your Grace, I'm afraid I bring terrible news.
Yo.
Sonic the Hedgehog has 2 eyes. Did you see the graphic? It was so weird.
I put wildfire in your suppositories.
Your suppositories. Don't smoke out of your butt. Your Grace, I bring terrible news. David Faustino got arrested.
Who was that?
I don't know. I think that's a celebrity or something. Okay. I was hoping I'd come up with something. I don't really know if it's funny or not. Your Grace, I've got terrible news. the crayon sharpener in the box doesn't really work all that well.
Those aren't your shoulder pads. Those are cheese graters.
Yeah, I love these. They're so cool. They look like giant slugs crawling up her neck. I thought whoever's dressing her up, they deserve a raise. You know, she wears some real interesting Cruella de Vil type shit, just like the chick from the evil woman, Kate Blanchett from Rhaegar, the Rhaegar movie, Ragnarok. Who am I talking about? The horn lady. With the horn,
Yes.
with the horn, she's a sister. She's really tough.
Yes, Thor's sister.
Thor's
Hela.
sister. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, but look at her, evil looking lady with her pauldron. What's a pauldron?
Pauldron is exactly the right word to use. Pauldron are armor that covers your shoulders, so very good.
And gauntlets are like gloves.
There you go.
That's right. I'm qualified for LARPing.
So we learned in the prior episode of the prior season, which I keep referencing, that Euron Greyjoy said that that nothing terrified him more than the sight of the white that they brought back to the sight of the white. That rhymes. Okay. Back to Winterfell, not Winterfell, but King's Landing. So he said he was going to leave, but that was all a ploy for him to go back and pick up the Golden Army and to come back to King's Landing with them. So he lied, and we expect this to be the Golden Army in tow.
Yeah.
But the whole time we were talking about this, it's like, how are they going to bring the war elephants on the boat?
Sure, they reference to the elephants, and I was excited thinking about elephants for the season. Lord of the Rings had elephants, which was awesome. More elephants. Dumbo, elephants, amazing. Bill Murray tries to get an elephant out of Vietnam or something. Is there a movie about that?
Operation Dumbo Drop.
Operation Dumbo Drop, which is about... Okay, and enough with the poop jokes, okay, Hank? Jesus Christ, grow up. Now, is this the symbol of the Golden Company?
I believe that's the symbol of the Iron Islands. That's the squid. That's like
that's the Kraken.
That's the Kraken.
But what this red thing wasn't always there, was it?
I mean, I would find it very hard to believe that. I mean, if you were being transported on a ship, would you expect them to amend their sigil on their ship to be your sigil over top of theirs simply because you're being transported by them?
I don't know.
It's like
it's like a partnership, though. If two companies unite for something,
right,
they'll put both their logos on the stuff.
But if I'm on like a Disney Caribbean cruise, I wouldn't expect it to be the Caribbean JG cruise with my initials on it.
JG, that's right. What's the G stand for, everybody? God.
I like it.
James's name is Jim God.
That I will go by that from now on.
Right. Okay. Creepy. All right.
Creepy.
So I know. So now we have handsome guy. You know the comedian Pete Holmes. This looks like him if he had nutrition.
There's a vague resemblance there. I see it.
I interviewed him on my podcast.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I knew.
Really?
I knew him from. I didn't know him like personally, but I saw him in Chicago. He started comedy in Chicago, but he had already left before I started. So yeah.
Did he laugh uncomfortably and really weird a lot?
Yeah. No, he was cool.
Is he really as tall as he looks on camera?
Yeah. He's taller than I am.
That is so cool.
I'm about 6'3", and so yeah, I don't like men that are taller than me.
My favorite moment was seeing him get absolutely roasted by a roast comic.
Oh, I'm sure it's happened. The dude's doing fine.
I wish I could remember his name, but I can't.
Yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, Golden Company, we have a new actor here. Euron Greyjoy is as cocky as ever, of course. That's his whole thing. There we go. Kind of an imposing shot. The men. That's got to be a terrible way to travel. I hate traveling sitting down. This is so awful.
I mean, obviously, I don't want to be immature or anything like that, but where do they poop?
Yeah, on the guy behind him. Yeah. No, I mean, that's the logistics question. That's not necessarily immature. Like, where does it all go? How do they feed them? What do they do? How do they sleep?
They've got to take turns just, like, doing their business overboard.
I suppose so.
You would think the sides of each ship would just have big streaks going down them.
Well, maybe they could do, like, a little ramp, you know? Yeah. They could call it greasing the plank.
And, like, if you get seasickness, holy crap, what torture.
Oh, man, seasickness. You ever get seasickness?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not me. I'm immune to it. I spent 3 days on a boat once and hated every minute of it, but I didn't get seasickness. All right, so Yara is captured here. This is her being a prisoner, and she just wants to get it over with here to Euron, and he goes, "You're the only one I could talk to. We're family. I have a whole ship of mutes."
And why are they mutes?
The Golden Company is sworn to secrecy.
Not the Golden Company, but Euron Greyjoy's own fleet. He cuts their tongues out.
What?
Yep.
Everybody?
Everybody, except for him.
That's fucked up.
It is.
What the hell is that?
That's his
By the
thing.
way, you need to communicate to run a ship. You need to be like, "Oh, the master's moving."
Well, they can hear him.
I tied the... No, but you're up high. You want to say something. You have to talk to... I did sailing for like a little while, and it's a lot of communication. What? You get a lot of, what do I do now? I don't know how to tie that knot.
Could be a testament to just how good they are.
Ugh, God. People just taking advantage of everybody around here, man. I can't. Cutting your tongue out. Could you imagine? Could you imagine having your cunt your cunt tut out?
Your cunt tut out? Wow.
Your cunt tut out.
Which one of us is drunk again?
You. I don't drink anymore.
I'm just trying to catch up.
I know. Yeah, it's all right. You'll when you're ready to stop, James, you can come to me.
I should be about 60,
I don't think you're that.
65
you're
or so.
No, you're not there. It's
I
fine.
do it on occasion when I need to forget.
It's okay to get blasted. There's nothing wrong.
I've got a very, very hectic work day ahead of me.
Yeah, you've had like 3 drinks. That's not much. Trust me.
No.
Believe me. You picked the losing side. He's like, yeah, you didn't make it, you idiot. You're not going to do real well. So she's just sort of annoyed by this asshole. I get it. But he goes, well, there's his plan. To go fuck the queen.
I mean, the subtitles do all the work for us here.
Right. Yeah. That's what
He's not going to kill her because he needs someone to talk to. So Yara is safe for now. We're hoping, based on the prior episode in the last season, that Theon is going to come and rescue Yara, as he has sent an expedition out to do so. Mm-hmm. But we know that Euron is going out to do what he wants to do with Queen Cersei.
Or at least try. That's his whole plan. He's pretty intent on it. And,
but she has made her point very clear that she is only going to consummate her, her word upon the conclusion of this war.
Right. So now we travel to the Red Keep, where the queen is having just a regular day at the office. This is her office. This is her cubicle. And she's got like a little Dilbert cartoon off on the side.
Yeah, you know what they say is the cleaner the cubicle, the less work you do. Which is why my cubicle is a freaking mess.
Is that true? Do they say that?
That's what I say.
I feel like that's not... I just cleaned up a bunch of Post-it notes off my cubicle, and I don't have a cubicle. I have an open workspace. I'm a video editor and I have to work in an open office. It's horrible. You know how hard it is to video edit without distractions, let alone... There was the other day, there were 3 meetings happening, triangulating with me in the middle, and I'm sitting there trying to concentrate on a video. I have noise canceling headphones, or as I call them, coworker canceling headphones. Get it, James?
Yes.
Humor. So 20,000 men, is it? What else did you bring me? Did you bring the elephants, horses? They got the horses. No elephants, Your Grace. This is like, fuck. This is bad news for all of us.
Just to be clear, this is Euron Greyjoy delivering the Golden Company to Cersei.
Yeah.
As he previously promised, and as he deceived the rest of the good guys, as I should put them, saying that he's going to retreat to the Iron Islands to hide from the threat of the White Walkers.
Yeah. So it was a nice little bit of deception. We'll get into that with Jamie, I think, later. Or was that season 7? I don't remember. Yeah. But she was disappointed by this no elephant thing, and they don't do well on voyages. So, I guess that's probably the case. You probably need a special elephant ship. And I made a joke they're swimming because elephants can swim.
Now, if they had Dumbo, he could fly.
That's right.
I would love to see Dumbo go up against the Syrian.
Just turn him. Just roast
he has a little
him.
feather in his trunk, so he's flying, and then gets blasted with white fire.
It's just singing a song. Like, hello, I'm Dumbo. Hello. There's Handsome Pete Holmes, and boom, you are a true friend of the crown. Okay.
So he starts saying, well, if I'm a true friend of the crown, and I'm a welcome guest, and I've brought you the Iron Fleet, and I've brought you the gift of Yara and the Sand Snakes, and I've brought you the gift of the Golden Company, perhaps my heart would be less broken if you opened your bedroom to me.
Basically, yeah. And just like I opened my bedroom to James. Open invite, anytime you want, James. No sex, cuddling, but legs only, okay? Human touch. I Googled it, and apparently it's important for your health. They did experiments with babies, like way back before there was like standards where like if you don't, like some babies they rub their heads for warmth, and then some babies they didn't, or they didn't touch them, and like the ones that they didn't touch just got all sick and died and stuff.
I feel like
fucked up.
I would maybe poke a baby with a stick. That's
I know, but the point is, human beings need to touch, not consensually. Although babies don't really, but you hold a baby. It's really bad to not touch babies. I'm not saying you. I'm saying that experiment was deeply immoral because it ruined those babies, and it's not even. It's just a history of humankind is filled with shit like that. You want a queen, huh? Earn her.
She basically says what you're looking for seems to be a prostitute, so I suggest you go out and buy her. But if you want a queen, you must earn her.
Yeah, and he says, they were lesser men. I've executed. Oh yeah, he says something. Hey, let me.
He doesn't give up. He keeps saying, you know what? I've given you this. I've given you this. I've given you this. You've given me nothing in terms of affection.
Essentially saying, I'm gonna pull it all away from you. Like he does have some leverage.
No, he does.
Not to say that it's necessarily fair that it's a sexual exchange, but she did agree to this marriage. It's a political agreement, but he's such a skeevy bastard. It's also got that sexy.
And she realizes that she needs him more than she would like to admit.
Right. And you know what? Confidence goes a long way. Yeah. Every time I ever got laid, it's not because I wasn't I think I was confident. I don't remember. I don't know. It's been so long. But certainly when I didn't get laid, I wasn't being confident like every night. But yeah, women, not that that's the only factor that they make used, but when you're like meek and like, oh, you gotta be like, yo, I'm wearing matching shoes, girl.
But I mean, the guy was born with confidence with his name, because as he's doing what he's doing, all he needs to do is say his own name. Hey, you're on Greyjoy. I mean, it works.
You're on Greyjoy. Now, what's he changed his name? He's now I'm behind you, Joy. Okay,
he has to be very careful of what he chooses to do.
Yes, talk about golden showers. Am I right?
The Golden Company.
Oh yeah, Golden Company. See what I mean? One time a girl wanted to watch me pee.
That's disturbing on many levels.
No, she was just said never seen it. She was like, I'd never seen it. She just took a look, and I was hesitant. I was like,
nothing to see.
No, I said, yeah, okay, fine, sure. I mean, we were dating, and then I was like, there you go. And she's like, oh, all right, thanks.
She vomited all over you.
Yeah, she puked on my wiener, and then I was like, well, now I gotta pee off the pee. Okay, this is getting bad. Sorry, I didn't. I should save that story for Thanksgiving. The Hound, or not the Hound, the Hound's the Mound, the Mountain, the Hound versus the Mound. He's watching on kind of like a dad.
He's looking worse for the wear every single episode.
Right. How do his eyes work? Do you think he has contacts or LASIK? He probably had LASIK.
I believe, and stay with me here, this is how Thanos is born. He's turning more and more purple.
Oh, he's got the scrotum chin.
I believe he's hiding that, and he's going to emerge with the Infinity Gauntlet, and it's going to be Thanos.
Or the Infinity Pauldron.
Could be.
Could be. Yeah, wow. I like how the mask is like linked together like that.
He's like one step from Grimace right now.
Yeah, he kind of does have a grimace into him. But he is sort of like, okay, because he's not in the room. He wants to protect her, but they're going in there to have, intercourse. So, now we end up with the brothel, Bronn. I blocked them all out. Don't want anybody to get the wrong ideas from these sinful nipples. He's with some of the ladies who work there.
I was looking ahead and was wondering what all these weird symbols on the screen were, and now it makes perfect sense.
What James is referring to is that over on this side is what the video.
Yeah, what we see.
If you go this way, we have like the list of. We're just screen recording my computer with File Explorer open. So, Windows Explorer. So instead of using black boxes, I figured why not a little branding, James? That's what's going on right here.
That's what I told you. You got to brand your women.
I branded my Bronn here. So they're getting undressed and having a bit of a chat. Everybody's excited about the dragons, though. Like talking about stuff, talking about what's going on, the scuttlebutt around the office. It's all kind of interesting.
He's trying to impress them.
Yeah.
He's basically talking about his exploits and how he was the one who used the ballista to shoot the dragon, to stop the conflict and whatnot.
Yeah.
He's enjoying himself post-battle.
Once you're about to have sex, you don't have to do the impressing thing anymore. You just compliment. Just be like, this is awesome. This is a lot better than sushi. So this lady's, they're all getting naked. He's got his thing. All right, can we stop talking about the fucking dragon? I like that. He's just like, enough. Jesus, I get it. They're cool. So they don't waste a lot of time. The lady just hops right on there and, ride the Bronn. And Bronn of the Blackwater, so to speak.
But the creepy thing is, as they're doing their things, Qyburn just appears.
Right. Qyburn just enters, and Qyburn is just like, hey, Bronn, I'd kill Qyburn. I'd be like, Qyburn, give me 45 seconds. I'm almost done. We started 15 seconds ago. Can't last more than a minute. So there you go. Boom. Get it. And, disappointing for everybody involved. And, she even throws it at the Qyburn. What's she doing here? Does she know he's got money? Or do you think she's really into him?
And I was wondering what his response would be, and she basically says, poor girl, she will succumb to the pox within a year. Yes, the pox will take her within a year. Apparently, he's a maester. He can sense when someone is ill with various little signs here and there. So apparently she has some disease that's going to kill her within a year, and she is not aware of it.
No, that's not the right thing to say to a girl who throws herself at you. The correct answer is yes. Let's go to my Prius. Leather seats. I got leather seats.
Do you?
Yeah, leather seats.
Wow, that's good for the planet, bad for the cows.
Hey, it's not my fault I'm human. My parents' fault. No, it does have leather seats. We actually I got a slightly better Prius than I was planning on, just because it was a really good price for that slight upgrade. Yeah, it was fine. Anyway, gray leather seats, everybody. Yep. Wink, ladies. 2012. Waiting for you in a wagon just outside. So he needs to go see the queen, right?
So essentially what is happening is Qyburn is coming in and saying, I have an offer for you. The queen is now flush with money from the gold of Highgarden, going down to the Iron Bank, repaying the debts, buying the Golden Company, I should say.
Yeah.
And now the queen wants to hire you with multiple chests of gold coins to take out the two brothers of the queen.
Yes.
So the reason that Qyburn wants Bronn to kill Jaime and Tyrion is because Jaime, despite the Cersei's sort of deceit, has ridden north to make good on the pledge to fight for the North, essentially.
Yeah.
He has betrayed his queen, he has betrayed his sister, he has betrayed their love. So he is now a target to Cersei, just as, Tyrion is a target to Cersei.
Yes. Is this Qyburn acting on his own volition? Or?
No, he's acting on behalf of the queen, using the same crossbow that Tyrion used to kill Tywin.
Yeah. And also, though, is this the same crossbow that Joffrey had? It could be, because it was.
It may as well be. Yes.
I bet it is.
It probably
it's like a well-made one. It's like a fancy rich person crossbow, like you order out of a catalog. And
that he killed prostitutes with.
Yeah, he killed Roz.
Yes.
Yeah, she's one of my faves. Her name is Esma Bianco or something like that. She's on Twitter or on Facebook or something. She's great. What's the other Facebook? Instagram.
MySpace.
Yeah, because I like.
Angel Flower.
GeoCities or sites or whatever. Is it cities?
Tripod.
Commodore 64.
So now Qyburn is talking about Harrenhal.
Imitation Game.
I don't know that.
Is that the guy who invented? No, it's not Matt. Okay, whatever. Sorry, everybody. So yeah, he's being offered to go kill his friends. He likes Jaime and Tyrion. Yeah, he's not going to kill
Bronn has always done what the highest paid bidder has bid him do.
Right.
So this is a very difficult situation for him because he has loyalty and friendship with Tyrion. He has loyalty and friendship with Jaime. So what is he going to do? Is he going to take the money and run?
But if he doesn't follow the order, then he pisses off Cersei, and she's the queen. She'll kill him.
Right, but
she'll put a wildfire suppository.
If Bronn makes good on either one of these bounties, he is going to be lost forever as a favorite character. Right now, people love Bronn. I love Bronn. I don't want to hate Bronn.
No, love Bronn. He wants to impregnate the Arya with 10 good men. That's what you don't know? Okay, all right. So this sums up my life. Just one of those elephants. God damn it, man. Oh, here's Euron back there compared to the fat king. She goes, "You insult my old king."
So just in case anyone missed this, she relinquished and allowed him to join her in the bedroom and to consummate her promise early.
Yeah, they went
for fear of losing his services and his resources.
Yeah, consummate her promise. Boy, I'm gonna use that line. Hey, you want to go consummate the promise? No. So you're not boring. So yeah, she's like Robert had different for every night, but he didn't know his way around a woman's body. Sort of saying, you seemed okay. I don't know, maybe it's all right. You're not boring. I'll give you that. He's being real cocky and arrogant. There you go. Most arrogant man I've ever met. I like that. Here, I'll say it out loud, then you do the whisper line. All right. You might be the most arrogant man I've ever met.
I'm Cersei.
All right. Well done.
So here's an important part, though, that we slightly missed, is that Cersei, her whole thing is she puts up a front of courage, of impenetrable confidence and power. And as soon as he left the room, she started falling apart almost to the point of crying.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I totally
It showed her vulnerability.
Oh.
That she did not want to do what she was forced to do. She was shamed by it, and it was an important moment, I think.
So this is not honest here? She was
putting on a show.
Playing him? Okay.
Playing him entirely. And as soon as he leaves the room, her lip starts quivering, she starts losing it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, maybe she just found out Game of Thrones is about to end. Like everybody else is upset about it.
Yep.
So back on the big ship here, we suddenly have an arrow through the eye. That is nasty. Look at that guy. He doesn't even know. It looks like Haley Joel Osment a little bit, doesn't it? Look at those tiny little teeth.
I don't know.
Boom, right through the eye. And it's a bolt, not an arrow, I think, right? And so we get a bunch of penetrations here, men grunting, which is what you do when you die.
So we have to assume at this point that this is Theon Greyjoy and his band of the Ironborn coming out to rescue Yara.
Yeah, doing a little SEAL Team 6 kind of mission here going on here, and they slaughtered a bunch of fellas. Flesh squelches.
To me, the word squelch means to silence. If you squelch something or squelch someone, you prevent them from making noise. You prevent them from speech. So I don't see how flesh squelches makes sense in this context to me.
I never knew what squelch meant. I always, yeah.
I'm going to Google squelch
James
because this
squelch.
is bothering me. Because
I thought I'd heard squelch. Isn't that like a radio term for like ham radio? Like, isn't there a word that sounds like that? Squelching, like it's something to do with how you turn knobs or something.
To me, like squelch is to silence, to make quiet.
I don't know. I can dig it though, because there's that squishy noise like when you punch cold soup. You know, that like. So we're typing it up. All right, James has a definition. Here we go.
Okay. So this actually makes more sense now that I see it. And the reason is that when I used to play an online game a very long time ago, and if you wanted to prevent someone from sending a message to you, if you wanted to mute someone, you would use a command called squelch. You would basically prevent them from communicating.
All right.
But the actual term means to strike or press with crushing force, to crush down, to make a splashing sound, to tread heavily in water, mud, wet shoes with such a sound.
Yeah, so muddy, squishy sound.
So it makes sense in this context. It doesn't make so much sense in the context of the video game I used to play, so screw you, Asheron's Call.
Asheron's Call, you're on notice, okay?
You are. You may be a game that has been completely wiped from the face of the planet.
Yeah.
You no longer exist, but screw you.
Yeah, it's going to be an Asheron's no call back, right?
Exactly.
Is that okay? So anyway, that's because someone cleaved an axe into a guy's chest or something, and then Theon shows up looking like a 70s music guy.
This is an enormous moment. This is the first time Theon has shown up in a like heroic stage.
Yeah.
Where he is the rescuer as opposed to the person who runs away as a coward.
The bit of a coward, yeah. He dove off the boat, and he's always sort of been. Well, I mean, he's had a rough time. Not that he didn't deserve it or whatever, but Reek really, being Reek, that was a bad phase. We all had a Reek phase.
This is his redemption scene.
Yeah. What I do for my Reek phase, I just put on some Old Spice High Endurance Red Zone, Aqua Reef, and the aluminum absorbs, and you start feeling like yourself finally.
Say it like a British person.
Old Spice High Endurance Red Zone. And then once the aluminum absorbs, you start feeling like yourself.
You let me down.
Why? Aluminium. Once the aluminium absorbs.
Aluminium.
Once the aluminium.
Okay, I'm better.
All right, sorry. Half of our viewers are British anyway. For some reason, we're popular in the UK.
Probably
because they have great taste.
They say aluminium, which is so much cooler than aluminum.
I agree. All right, so grunts, both grunts. A lot of grunting going on here. And she headbutts him first. She goes, whoosh, that's for. She doesn't even say it. She doesn't have to. He goes, Reek.
Before that, you said, he's gonna deck her.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna.
Or she's gonna deck him.
Yeah.
And you were right.
Yeah.
Which she should have done, and she did, because that's as you do in the Ironborn.
I'm pretty good at the obvious stuff sometimes. Even then, I'm not really. By the way, did you know Tyrion was a Lannister?
Really?
Just found out. Unbelievable. Everything makes so much more sense now.
Wow.
The ships, they're squelching through the water.
Yes. So you see they stole 3 ships from the fleet.
Oh, they stole them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They snuck in the night and they rescued Yara and they stole 3 ships.
Oh, I guess that's the case. Yeah, you're right. All right. I just assumed they had a small fleet of their own or something.
Well, they do now.
Yeah, they do now, I guess. We can take our home back. So she's like saying the Iron Islands are undefended. He's here at the capital.
The same way that they were able to save her because Euron had left his ship undefended because he was all banging Cersei.
Right. That's the thing about fleets. You spread them out, you're weak. You go one place, you're leaving places unexposed or exposed. So it can't bite off more than you can chew. Somewhere the dead can't go. Iron Islands. And then eventually... he goes, you really want to go fight for the Starks, don't you? And he's like, yeah, okay, all right.
So she knows what he really wants. And she says the phrase of the Iron Islands, what is dead may never die. Which is,
and you even said...
Which is a horrific thing to say, considering the fact that you're going up against an undead army. That doesn't inspire confidence at all. Yeah. Even when you have Zeus himself standing behind you, you don't have the confidence to go up against them.
Yeah, Zeus himself. Poseidon, James. Come on, the Kraken.
Well, I mean...
Liam Neeson. Release the Kraken.
If he had a trident, I would be more on board.
He needs a trident, yeah, for sure. I hear you. But then, as you said that, or just after you said it, and I was like, yeah, good point, James. You're so smart. She said, kill the bastards. So it's even acknowledging the...
Yes, she was acknowledging the irony of the fact of what she said.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's a good enough queen, a good enough sister to say, you rescued me. I will go on and do what's best for the Greyjoys, for the Ironborn, but you have your own destiny. You need to do... You do you.
You do you, boo, he says.
Yes.
And he goes, I'll do my part. You're like,
yes.
Get it? Put some sunscreen on that part. All right, so there's the Winterfell. This is fun. I love the red... I don't know why, I just like seeing the red tree. For some reason, I feel grounded to the earth, Just like when I'm near a router So they're camping out. They're kind of giving us a sense of the logistics of it all. Look at these poor guys. They gotta just stand around like this.
I really
my
feel
God,
like
no chess.
you've got that many people around. There's got to be a taco truck somewhere.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. I mean, a big part of the armies were just the supply city. It's like a whole village just traveled with all the
What are they
armies.
going to eat? That's what I just don't. The logistics of it are shocking.
That's one thing that very few shows that do these like large army things really address much of. Because from my understanding, they were massive footprints and they took an enormous amount of resources. And you can tell. I mean,
look at all those tents.
Yeah, these guys got to eat Cheerios every morning. So they're walking up. Oh, look, they're building a trebuchet.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Do you know? This place is really intense.
Cool. I don't get it. What?
Everything is happening in tents.
I don't know. Quit flapping your mouth. Get it? Flap. Tents have flaps.
Tents. Oh, I get it now.
Hey, nice triangle house, James. All right. One of the better sigils. Which one's he talking about? The some
Karstark.
The Karstark. Okay, so they're already referring to it. No, it wasn't the Karstark. It was the...
No, they're talking about the Karstarks now. They're saying like the Karstarks originally were against Jon and the North. And, well, not the North, but initially Jon was able to bring them back into the fold by offering them, clemency for their past treachery with the Red Wedding and everything like that.
I know, but in the scene right before this, the shots right before this comment, they showed a flag and it was like a sun kind of with the spikes coming off of it. It wasn't the cross thing.
It wasn't the Karstarks.
I don't think so. But what you just said is very relevant to much of the rest of the episode. So it wasn't long ago the Karstarks and the Starks were slaughtering. I mean, maybe it was. I could be wrong, but I do recall seeing this other flag that it was like a kind of just a whatever. We're slaughtering each other on the battlefield. Her guys is lovely, but that's not my point. They're talking about how Daenerys. You go ahead. I don't know.
This is where Davos essentially says the same thing that's been said throughout many other scenes in this episode: is that people are loyal to Jon, not to Daenerys. The fact that they elected him king meant that they were loyal to him as the king. They were not loyal to the person that he chose as his queen. So if they're going to fall in line with Daenerys, she's going to need to earn their trust. Yeah, it does not come easily.
Yeah. And after this line here, they're stubborn as goats. Over here, he goes, nah, I heard that. Nah. No, I'm not moving. Oh, I just proved it, didn't I? No. Can you do a goat noise?
No, not really.
That's pretty good.
So what does goat stand for in the gaming world?
Get off ass titties.
So if you're playing a game and someone calls you a goat, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Bad thing.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah,
that's the highest praise you can get.
He who wears the crown lives with the loneliness, as Tony Soprano once said. All right, really?
You want to be the goat.
So you want to be the goat, huh? Boy, I was the goat once. Counter-Strike. You wanted their loyalty? I was really good at Counter-Strike. Yeah. I just figured out that you just shoot when you go around corners and you get a bunch of headshots.
Now in Destiny, you got to jump or slide around corners because nobody expects the slide or the jump. They expect the walk around.
Yeah, smart. Damn. Listen, put that in your college resume applications there, kiddos, everybody. You want their loyalty, you have to earn it. So a lot of this is about like proving their worth with I almost said the Flanderses, with the Starks.
Yeah. Now, do you want that cursor there?
Where? What?
That's the cursor has been there the whole time.
Dude, yeah, tell me to move it.
I just noticed it.
No, I don't want rewatch all of these, but like I'll see it and I'll be like, oh fuck, man, move the cursor, because I know that kind of it gets my OCD activated, and I know that's annoying. So if you ever see it, James, you can tell me. I won't be annoyed or something. James telling me what to do. All right, so here they are processing obsidian, and is this where we see them melt? No, that's a little bit later. Where we see the glass. What? It's the same stuff. I have a piece. Do you want to see it? It's big. It's huge. It's the size of
a White Walker with it?
Yeah, I will tonight after you go to sleep.
That was a white hobo.
A white hobo. Yeah, I murdered a guy. He had a box of porn, and we had issues. This is dragon glass. Dragon James's ass. And I don't know why you laughed at that.
That was pretty funny.
Okay. Anyway, this NPC. This is like one of those dudes who gives you a quest and a mission. Just like, oh, my girlfriend, she's upset at me. I don't know what to do.
After you talk to him for the second time, he just repeats the same line to infinity.
Oh, my girlfriend, she's upset at me. I don't know what to do. It's funny. All right, what if the seven? So now they're talking about what if they got rid of all their crap and united by a woman and an honorable man. She's just a woman. She's
Well,
not just a
Varys
woman.
says something that I think about all the time. He's like, yes, even if that were true, there's still one greater truth that hangs over the heads of everyone here that younger people may not be aware of. Is that no matter how great today is, nothing ever lasts.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They're talking about these youthful leaders. They're younger than them. Respect is how they keep us at a distance. Yeah. As if it's the older people's or the young people's fault for the respecting thing. You require the respect.
If by accident honorable people take power, it's only a matter of time before corruption seeps in.
Generally.
It will happen.
Well, power does seem to have that. That's why I don't trust anybody who wants power. They should only want it reluctantly.
And that's why I think Daenerys is going to die before these 6 episodes are over, because she wants power and she will not relinquish it for anything. Jon, however, will.
And, that there certainly could be some tension set up now that we know who Jon really is. Mm-hmm. We'll find out later. What is that? Nothing lasts. Yeah, that's just it. This is what you were saying. So
yeah.
Look, he's talking. This is me with an egg roll. Chewing. Okay, sorry. She didn't like me either. He's talking about how Sansa is giving her the cold shoulder.
I really hope you capture this line, because this is an incredibly important line. Yes, if she can't respect me and then she gets cut off, what was she going to say? If she can't respect me, she needs to die? I think that's what she was saying, because Daenerys has a history of executing people that do not bend the knee to her. Yeah. Sansa was not about to bend the knee to her, and she was about to say something to Jon that could potentially have lost Jon's allegiance to her.
Maybe.
I think she will need to die, and I think this is foreshadowing to the fact that Daenerys will die.
Daenerys? I think I meant Sansa.
Daenerys. There are 2 things in this episode. The fact that she says this line right here, and the fact that near the end of the episode, someone alludes to the difference between Daenerys and Jon is that Jon was willing to abdicate his crown to protect the North.
Yeah.
Would Daenerys do the same? No, she would not.
I suspect not. But she has shown a willingness to put herself at risk to accomplish things, which does emerge from the of healthy hubris that defines her psyche. So maybe not. I don't know. But you could also finish the sentence like, if she can't respect me, she must at least obey me. Something like that.
Knowing what she's done in the past and knowing what's been foreshadowed in the past, I don't think it was going to be an innocent phrase to come after that.
Okay. All right.
And I think there's a reason they cut it off and didn't let her finish.
Fair enough. Okay. We'll just have to wait and find out. And also, James pointed out that she has noodle hair. Looks like ramen noodles, and I agree. And it makes me want to go pour one of those powder packets in my mouth. All right. Dothraki guys riding up. Okay. Oh, we're learning. This is like a logistics report here. Only 18 goats and 11 sheep. So I think that's like what they have to eat or what they've eaten or something.
Well, what they've found for the dragons to eat.
Yeah. So dragons aren't getting a lot of food here. Go cook up some elk.
Now, what I don't get is that the dragons, do they just basically burn the flesh off everything before they eat it? How do they get those bones out there? Do they just regurgitate the bones and are they charred? I don't get it.
Moron, haven't you ever seen Heathcliff eat? You put it in your mouth, you pull out a fish skeleton, okay? It's science.
That's nasty.
So the dragons, I did love this scene though. This is really great. The dragons are great. They do such a good job.
They almost have like a human quality to their face when you look straight at them.
Yeah, they do. Especially if you're from my family, who are all hideous monsters. No, I'm just
if Sam hadn't interfered, then Jorah Mormont would look just like this.
What? Oh, this is the Greystone, or what is
Grayscale.
it called? Grayscale. What if do dragons get human scale and they start getting like smooth skin? I've got.
Can you imagine something with that body type with smooth human skin?
It'd be like a giant naked cat.
That would just be disgusting.
Yeah, that would be horrifying. Where's the mysterious dragon that's going to visit us, James? I'm hinting at something. Okay.
All right. In the dark.
So they don't like the north. It's very cold up here. It's the toll booths are something they're unfamiliar with, and it's Canada.
So knowing what we know now, the fact that the dragons are warm to Jon Snow and warm to Daenerys Targaryen is the fact that Jon Snow is Aegon Targaryen.
Right.
And it seems as though it's not simply Jon's relationship with Daenerys that makes a bond with him and the dragon.
Right.
It seems like they, on some sort of level, know that he's a Targaryen.
They're dialed in. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. It's not just that he's her boyfriend. It's that he's got the blood of the dragon riders. So, interesting stuff. And then we, this he kind of gets this intense thing, and she hints like, okay, buddy, we both rented 2 scooters. I'm on one. You better get on one too.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going bumper cars.
Yes, this is like a very intense Segway ride.
Yeah, I don't know how to ride a dragon. He never saw the movie How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
Segway
And she says something like, nobody knows until they do.
Yeah, that's
which
right.
means that there's no training for this. You got to jump on, you got to grab on, and hold on to whatever you can.
Yeah, so he does. He very clumsily climbs up, and by the way, this dragon has never been, well, as far as I know, hasn't been ridden, right? Like when they rescued him, all of them flew off on the one dragon on Drogon, and this one has never had a person on him. You'd think like you would, like a horse that hasn't had a person on it's going to be a much different creature than something that's used to it.
I would suspect that the shock of a person being on a horse is not akin to a person being on a dragon. This is sort of like a fly landing on your back if you're a dragon.
Yeah, more like
they wouldn't notice this so much.
Like a meerkat.
Yeah,
yeah. Like if I were the dragon, the mount. Okay, all right. So whatever you can, yeah. Just take a risk with your boyfriend's life.
Look at her eyebrow caterpillars.
Yeah, these caterpillars, aren't they? Yeah, boy, look at them. Squeezy, 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 and then they turn into butterflies, just like their sex, their love. I mean, meant to say. Chitters. Okay. So the dragon just takes off. Boom, off he goes, like driving a Tesla. And look at that chest, huh?
It's Robin Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, he is barrel chest.
He was.
Yeah, man, that's sad. Thanks for bringing it up. I think he did a door. He hung himself from a doorknob or something.
Did he?
Yeah, I think there might have been alcohol. This is getting okay. All very speculative. It's what a tragedy, very sad thing. Speaking of, look at her. She's like, he's so cute. Look at him. He's having a hard time with a dragon. But of course,
like, you could die.
Yeah, I know. It's like, this is not cool. Like, I wouldn't even want to jump on a bed. Although I would to impress a lady. Off they go. Big cool dragon bodies and stuff flying around, going right at the camera. There's Jon Snow. Oh shit! Whoa, whoa.
This is the big moment too, as comical as it is. It's like it's the, Jon riding a dragon.
Right.
As we know that he's a Targaryen. It's kind of a big thing.
That's
it's
right.
a big deal.
Yeah.
And it's also a big deal that the North sees him do it, which kind of builds a little bit of confidence in him as a leader with him bonding with dragons.
Right. Yeah. Showing that he's taming these untamable forces that they would.
It's not just her as the dragon master, it's him as well.
Yeah. And this guy's thinking, I better shave my beard. It'll go up real quick in a fire. Although so it is flesh. Yes. Yeah, we get this cool kind of wraparound shot of these guys. Oh, look, they got those little circular hammers. Those are actually a thing. Not quite sure.
Where does Varys find razors? Because he is always like smooth as a baby's butt.
We call him a chrome dome. Maybe he uses Nair. You ever think about that? Maybe he's got a tiny army of goldfish that he dunks his head into a tank and they chew it all off. Maybe the follicles didn't grow in. Maybe he doesn't have enough testosterone to grow hair. Maybe that's why I'm bald. I wish my back was fucking bald.
I've heard that baldness is caused by an excess of testosterone.
That's right. I know that just got confusing. But yeah, it is, from what I understand. I always thought it was caused by being a sinner. That's what my mom told me. Yeah. You're a fucking sinner.
She beat you with a belt salted with the thumbtacks put into it.
With Bible quotes on it.
Yep.
It was horrible. But nope. Beat me with the love belt, Mom. So anyway, she's looking back and seeing him, but he's hanging on there. The dragon these things kind of drive themselves.
She's basically testing him at this point.
Oh yeah. But he's got strength. He's got good grip strength, and he's hanging on. He's the king in the north, or formerly. Yells. Yeah, we go over the cliff. I really enjoyed the sequence, though. This is kind of fun to watch. And the dragons go down, and I go, whoa, they're really flying. Look at that. Nice. Huh?
Yeah, this is this is probably the only action scene in the whole episode that really, justifies the budget.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to make the dragons look like Terry Gilliam animations or something. So they land, the dragons are watching.
You didn't get the one part. At one part it says Jon yelps.
Oh yeah.
And I was just picturing him on the back of the dragon taking time to review a restaurant with his phone.
3 stars, but the straws were used. They reused the straws. Pretty nice service.
It's not the best in the north.
I waited 45 minutes past the delivery time. Yeah. Worst tattoo parlor ever. It's actually... Okay, I don't know what I'm trying... I mean, not even funny. Okay, so they laugh, they go off. Now we see a whole bunch of wetness
And this kind of harkens back to the first time that Jon Snow with Ygritte found a cave back in the north,
Yeah.
and they went and banged in a cave. And it seems like she wants to do the same thing, and it almost implies as though they do the same thing.
And she's something about being cold, and he's like, well, keep me warm, buddy. I like her jacket, though, how like there's like blood on the inside of it. That's like, it's like weird fleshy strands. Very cool. And her gloves match her jacket blood. But yeah, she's like, keep me warm, bro. And then Drogon, this is some of the comedy here. Don't you? Yeah, we get this look. Hey, pal,
yeah, that's a little intimidating.
You treat her. It's like, it's like banging in front of your girlfriend's parents.
Right, these are her kids.
Maybe we could close the door. Why are we doing this in front of your parents? They're just going to stare at us the whole time.
Not parents, children.
I banged in front of my girlfriend's parents, and I was like, don't worry, I'll be respectful. We're both going to make a lot of noise, I promise. I make a lot of noise sometimes. Thanks. You ever say thanks in bed?
No.
Well, you're supposed to show your gratitude somehow, but they don't like being direct. Thank you.
5 stars.
The 5. Loving it. But anyway, this
You rate them on an app?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't. There's probably our apps for that. But look, he's just like, do you think, it's a cute moment.
It's a very human face. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Kind of does. Yeah. Sort of a bit of a smile there. The eyes forward, just like in the movie Signs, where we learned from the sheriff who explains that forward eyes are predators. That's how she knows the aliens aren't prey animals. Like, what a stupid fucking... I actually did like some of that movie. But, all right. He's banging my queen. All right. But you know what? Look at his face. She's into it. It's a good time. Sex outdoors. Closest I've ever done is a balcony. Man, that was a fun night. Ugh, boy. Don't ever leave your 20s, everybody. Just don't. Stay 20s. Okay, now we're back in the forge. Boom, bing, cling, cling, clang. Sweaty men swinging arms and hammers and stuff. And you're saying you're good. Oh, yeah, so Gendry built a obsidian axe.
So you actually called this. You said that since the Hound came back, he was a woodcutter.
Yeah.
And he was using an axe. And he's going to use an axe to kind of basically be his signature weapon in the wars to come. You were right. He asked Gendry to make him an axe. Gendry made him a dragon glass axe.
Yeah.
So,
and
good call.
Thank you. I appreciate the acknowledgement for that. I just was kind of hoping he would just use this standard tree axe. That's kind of great. So here's him just naming his favorite album by the Beatles.
Yes.
Not very well known.
Really what he's saying is...
Cripples and cocksuckers.
He's saying that the wildlings had blacksmith who made weapons for them, and they were either cripples or what. Which one are you?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Why not both?
This is his way of showing gratitude.
Right. Yeah. Cripples and cocksuckers for that comment, James.
Yep.
I'm very grateful for it. So then Arya comes in and she's like, "Hey, check it out!" Oh yeah, they finally have a
reunion.
She's the Hound for the change. Now,
so she didn't know the Hound. She only found out the Hound was alive and seen him in that procession at Winterfell.
Yep.
He didn't know that she was alive. Technically, he had heard she was at Winterfell and she was alive, but this is the first time he's actually seen her.
Yeah. So this is their encounter. Now, I mean, what's he gonna do? Murder her here or something? And I did like that she's like, "You left me to die, but then I robbed you first." Yeah, that's funny. You're a cold little bitch, aren't you? That's why you're still alive, is what it says. And so it's sort of a mutual respect kind of thing in a way.
It's the highest praise they're going to get from one another.
But the thing is, he wanted her to kill him when
so he wouldn't suffer.
Her walking away to let him die from suffering is actually what saved his life.
Right.
So maybe he should send her a card.
But as far as she knew, she was leaving him to a much gruesomer fate. Yeah, more gruesome fate.
For sure, I get you. And so anyway, I can't see what that is. I brighten it up in Premiere when I do the edit, so it's kind of hard for. What is that? Oh, good. I'm so glad I got this. So, what is this? So dragon glass. It's a launcher. It's like a harpoon. It looks.
I was
like.
looking at it.
Spear. This is like a. It shoots out. Like and
I saw it more as like a ballistic knife, where it has like some sort of spring-loaded component that would shoot it out further, which I believe he is going to make for her, and it is going to come in play in a very, very, very pivotal scene.
Right.
Where she is going to basically be at death's door, and she's going to be able to shoot this spring-loaded thing across the room and kill a White Walker of some stature.
Will she keep it in her forearm and under her sleeve?
See, I was thinking about this more in terms of like a replacement to needle, but you're right. It could be something that she could conceivably.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think she'll whip it out real quick out of her.
Now, can you tell what that says?
Yeah, it says dragonglass.
Dragonglass.
And it's pointing at here. And
I see it now. It does indeed say
Yeah.
dragonglass.
It'll either be a spring or some kind of tension, something or other.
It's kind of pointless, though. It's like, the man is sitting back in a forge making nothing but dragonglass weapons. Does she really need to make it say dragonglass?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
yeah, of
but,
course.
that's the pointy end. And, by the way, does he have time to invent stuff? Come on. He's making all kinds of crap.
Yeah, he's the
Dragonglass arrowheads and
He's
stuff.
like the lead blacksmith. He's going to make it for an army. He doesn't have time for her bull crap.
Yeah, get out of here. But then he does give her a little grief about being rich. All right, he's like, okay, you're just rich. Didn't know you were rich.
Well, he says she was a rich girl because she pulled out a Valyrian steel dagger.
Oh yeah, there's that. That's right. Yeah. And she goes, you don't know any other rich girls. Is her response to that? He's like, good point. I lived on Fleabottom. Sansa's reading poetry from I don't know. But,
She got a DM.
She got it. Yeah, this is her DM. She got an ICQ message. And
I still remember my ICQ. 1452212 was my ID.
don't give it out, James. You're going to be inundated tonight.
Oh no.
What's your IRC relay chat
Ooh,
message? I
that's
use those to
secret.
download illegal files. But he's saying in Deepwood Mott. Oh yeah, so this is we're learning that. Is this the Umbers are referring to or different? I think
This is
it was
different.
Yeah. But then he quotes the guy saying he would stand behind him, but he actually is not going to. So
Yeah.
some of the North is not turning on him, but refusing to support him, largely because of the Queen thing.
Because they bent the knee, right?
They bent the knee.
They said that they would support Jon Snow. Jon Snow is no longer king in the North. He is now a subject to the Queen.
Yeah.
And they're saying my loyalty is then basically evaporates at that point.
You gave it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not what I said
so
yesterday.
so my promise is no longer valid. I'm going back home. You no longer have my support.
Yeah, he has to straighten the knee, and then they'll give him support.
Exactly.
They don't use that phrase. I wish they would. Like, I straightened the knee, and then he moved it. It's all about how the knee. Okay, without. He's right though. This is the thing. It's like
No, he's
everybody's
making
giving him crap.
He's talking to Sansa, and he's basically saying, it's like, if we do not... I did what I did because had I not done it, the North would fall. We would all die.
Yeah.
And she needs to understand that, but she still has disdain for Daenerys for whatever reason.
Right. She said, I get it. She's calling the shots and stuff. That's got to be kind of annoying to have her walk into your house and you have to say, hello, my queen.
But she asks a very poignant question here. She says, yes, she's much prettier than her father was, because he says she is not her father, which was Aerys Targaryen. And I've heard it pronounced Aries or Aries. I don't know which one is right, but I'll go with either one. I'm sure someone will correct me.
Aerys Huminium.
It's been pronounced Aries or Eris.
Okay.
I don't know which one is right. But she asked a question of Jon saying, did you bend the knee because you respect her, because you believe she is the rightful heir who is a better person to rule these lands, or is it because you love her? Right. And he couldn't answer it because it was a mixture of both.
It's both. Why not both? Hey, that loyalty will probably be what saves them in the end, isn't it? The loyalty of love. Just why you and I are going to survive the apocalypse together, James.
No, I'd be the one to put a bullet in my head first day.
Yeah, but
like,
that's
I'm
a
going.
burden on me. Then I'll be stuck here eating your body, turning it into a squelch
Well, actually,
soup.
I put a bullet in my heart, so I'd raise black as the zombie and I come after you.
But I'm the guy you want to be with. I have all sorts of flashlights and stuff. I have a gallon of water in my closet in case of an earthquake.
That'll last us a decade.
That's my earthquake plan, is to hide under my desk and hope that I can get to the closet where there's that gallon that's been in there for 4 years.
And it's just there because that's how you drown yourself.
Yeah,
To kill yourself.
Just to rinse the dust off my face. Your ashes. All right, so men shouting indistinctly. Oh! So now they're walking into kind of like the library, sort of like in a smart boy area.
Right, this is where Samwise...
Yeah.
Samwise Gamgee is.
Samwise Gamgee's
He has the ring of power.
Frodo! I can't do it, Frodo!
Sam Tarly.
Yeah. Oh, potatoes. I just want some potatoes. So Sam Tarly is in there doing his thing, reading, because he's a nerd.
So she's with Jorah Mormont because she's coming to thank Sam for being the maester to cure Jorah Mormont of his grayscale.
Yeah. And she says, you'll the Citadel, I'm going to need we're going to have to make some changes with that. Basically saying I'll make sure everything's okay with whatever the Citadel is for you because I'm in charge.
Right. She's offering him a reward, though, for what he did. And he says he wants a pardon for stealing the for stealing the books from the Citadel and for stealing his ancestral family blade.
Yeah. It'd also be funny if he farted when he said pardon.
Right.
Pardon my fart.
Yes. Which would be his eventually anyway. But the sad thing here is that he is unaware of the fate that has befallen Randall Tarly and Dickon Tarly, his brother and his father.
Right. right. Which is a pretty intense scene where she defeats the Lannister convoy and the Tarly guy, and he's a real intense looking dude, bald guy and stuff. And yeah, that she he refuses to bend the knee, and then Dickon jumps in there and says, "I'm standing here too," and then she cooks them both.
Yeah, and
to the dismay of Tyrion at the time.
There was very little love between Sam and his father and brother, but he respected them and he loved them regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. So he mentions his sword here. We're jumping ahead a little bit here. We've kind of jumped ahead, so let's catch up. Not Randall Tarly. So she sniffs out that here because hears him say he had the Tarly sword or whatever. She's like, "Oh, Tarly, uh-oh."
But this is another bad moment because it shows that her bedside manner is severely lacking.
Well, what are you supposed to do? Be like gentle about it, or just? I think she was pretty upfront. She got right to the point.
Yeah, but she does it.
She didn't
does it
sit
very
down
bluntly.
on a stool and go and pat his knee and go, "Listen, you're gonna need to get some things in order here, but you got dead cancer." You know, none of that. She just told him.
She should have put her hands out and blown ashes into his face. Here they are.
These are his brains. But yeah, like in a way though, this is like whoever says his sentence swings a sword. At least she's delivering the news to his face as opposed to sending a message or having some.
Well, she wasn't expecting to run into him, so
True.
It wasn't something she intended to do.
Yeah. She should have gotten out of there and go like, "Ooh!" She pulls on her collar and goes, "I'm out of here." It bonks her head on the threshold or the door jam. At least threshold's the bottom part of the door. At least I'll be allowed home again. Oh, because he's. Yeah, so he takes his dad's, and even if you don't like your family and he doesn't like his father, it's still going to hit you hard when they die. Even it's just you're biologically linked to these people. It's impossible not to have some reaction to death in the family, even if it's an unhealthy relationship.
He's just now found out that his father is dead, so he's trying to console himself and look in the bright side of life, saying, "Well, at least I'll be allowed home because my brother's Lord." She's like, killed your brother.
Not quite. He, the brother with the big head, the tiny head and the big shoulders.
Yes,
and Dickon. Yeah, more like Dick off. And that didn't. I don't. So it's sort of sad for me, and he kind of rushes off, going, which is fine. You're supposed to cry when someone dies.
So his whole thing was he was supposed to reveal to her the true identity of Jon Snow as Aegon Targaryen, but he was so overcome with emotion that he couldn't bring himself to do it. So he rushes out to the courtyard, excuses himself, where he runs into Bran.
Bran is sitting there, and he goes, "What are you doing here?" And he goes, "No one will wheel me inside."
He's like, "This is how I rule."
What's out there? I don't know. Maybe. All right, so waiting for an old... do we figure out who that was?
He was waiting for his Eat 24 order. You can see them coming. He doesn't need tracking.
If they forget my Diet Dr. Pepper one more time, I'm going to be very upset, and I'm going to go change... Turns all the Taco Bell employees into Hodors.
Yes.
Dr. Pepper! Dr. Pepper! Dr. Pepper!
Fix the order! Fix the order! Fedor!
Fee-Bran!
I like that one better.
Hot sauce! I don't know. Fire! Okay, alright, sorry. What is this? I'm not his brother. He trusts you more than anyone.
So Sam basically is overcome with emotion. He doesn't want to do any favors to Daenerys or to Jon, who he feels has kind of somewhat betrayed him by pledging allegiance to a woman who has murdered his closest family. So he's saying, you know what? I'm not going to tell him. You need to tell him. But Bran says, Jon trusts you more than anyone else. It needs to come from you.
Yeah, that's right.
And that I'm not his brother. Biologically, I'm not his brother.
Oh, right. There's that. And Bran's one of the few... Bran and Sam here are like the only people that know that.
Yeah.
At this point. Right. So now we have some cool candle shots. We got the Sean Bean Memorial Crypt with all the different deaths of Sean Bean. And Sam's in there. No, John's in there. And then we hear like Sam fall, or we hear
he's
collapse,
like grunting and
sort of
falling and tumbling.
I like that. Like they didn't show it, but he's just sort of awkwardly getting up. And they have a reunion. This is nice. These two guys are really good friends.
Because Jon is not expecting to see him in Winterfell.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's like, "What are you doing here? Have you read every book in the Citadel already?"
Ha ha ha. He's like, "No, it's a little more complicated than that." How's Gilly? Little Sam? More like a little Craster. The kid that looks like Casper the Friendly Ghost. There's Sam. He's like, well, listen, she executes these people. They get like 2 seconds of feeling okay, and then they immediately have to go to the tragedy of all their lives. She executed my father and brother. She didn't tell me that. Oh man, I mean, why would she? She's just doing her business.
He should be like, you really need to dump this lady. She's no good for you, Jon.
Why don't you like my girlfriend? She killed my family. But she's hot. She has really cool hair. All right, we need to end this word. Well, I've executed men who disobey me. It's kind of crazy. But he's not the king of the North anymore, as a king. And then Jon says this, which is sort of like, what? Like, no, I don't mean about the king of the North. I mean about the whole bloody 7 fucking
Because he said he relinquishes the crown to the king of the North. Mm-hmm. And now this is where he's about to drop the bombshell.
This is a big reveal here. So I did take more screenshots. I try not to take them for every full conversations. For some reason, that feels like more copyright violating than what we're already doing. So he read this diary. He's explaining Bran had, I like that line, whatever Bran has, he has a superpower to know stuff.
He doesn't quite understand, because he had a conversation with Bran before, and Bran was like, where have you been? He goes, I became the three-eyed raven. And he's like, I don't quite know what that means.
Yeah, that's funny.
But, yeah.
That was funny. Okay, here's the reveal. Your mother was Lyanna Stark. Exhale. That's an exhale. And your father, your real father, not this Ned Stark, was Rhaegar Targaryen.
And then Jon says, I don't want it.
Yeah. It's not fair. You've never been a bastard. You're Aegon Targaryen, true heir to the Iron Throne. Like, Jesus Christ, I've had so much to do already. It's like, oh man, that's crazy. Really? I'm sorry. I know it's a lot to take in. And, these sort of his first thing is to just react to the notion that his dad lied to him his whole life.
Yeah, Ned Stark being the most honorable man that anyone has ever seen, honorable to a fault that led him to the point where he lost his own head.
So its initial reaction is to be hurt by that relationship, by that violation.
He understands that he did it because Robert Baratheon would have killed him as a child had he known that a rightful heir to the throne, a Targaryen-born child of Stark and Targaryen bloodline existed.
Yeah.
So the lie hurt Ned Stark, but it protected him.
Ned Stark, yeah, exactly. So the honorable thing for him was to be publicly dishonored by living with this bastard who his wife hated. Remember how mean Catelyn Tully was to him all the time?
And he never even told her about it.
Yeah. No, nobody knew. So he kept that secret, and so that is sacrificing yourself for the greater good or to do the right thing. You're not supposed to let a guy kill a baby. Kill teens, not babies. That's what I always say. Ned Stark, the guy who raised you. I mean, that's his dad. He did. Robert would have murdered. So it's nice that they finally explain it for dummies like me.
And they put it in very simple terms here.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Not through these freaking soap opera flashbacks where they're getting married. Mm-hmm. It's outrageous. So shakily. How do you breathe shakily?
Because at this point he's realizing he banged his aunt.
Oh yeah, so she's not a sister though, huh?
No, an aunt.
All right, so aunt means that you're the sibling of your parents.
The sister of your mother. His mother was Lyanna Stark.
Uh-huh.
And Daenerys' father was the Mad King.
Oh God.
And his son was Rhaegar Targaryen. And Rhaegar Targaryen was the father of Jon Snow.
All right, you know what? These people need to go on Maury. They need to have paternity testing. Only person that could understand this is Maury Povich. Speaking of current references. It still is confusing to me. I get it. It's just that I've never been able to track family those times. I know who my brothers are, and I know who my parents are, and I'm pretty sure who my grandmother is. Beyond that...
Is?
She's alive.
Really? You have a living grandmother?
Yeah, she's 92 years old.
Mine are dead as doornails.
Yeah. Her name is something Targaryen. I couldn't think of it. I was going to say something, but she's a great lady. She's probably not going to be another 92. Let's just put it that way. So, God bless her. She's my heart and soul, and would give me coin-filled Easter eggs sometimes. You gave your crown to save your people. Okay, now I don't know what the fuck. Okay, so now what? Where are we, James?
That's a very important line.
This is the first hearth.
I would rather not gloss over that because he says the difference between you and Daenerys is that you gave up your crown to save your people. Would Daenerys do the same?
Oh yeah, this is a big
And the answer to that question is unequivocally no, she would not. We know that from the history of knowing Daenerys Targaryen. She believes that she is entitled to power. She is the queen. Mm-hmm. She would not relinquish that for anything.
Yeah.
It is her birthright.
Right.
And that is a problem. It's a huge problem.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some tension. So you're right. Okay, let's talk about that real quick. Everybody's predicting who's going to be on the Iron Throne at the end. Have you named anybody you think will be on the Iron Throne?
Whoever it is, I want to say that it is 100% not going to be Daenerys Targaryen.
All right, fair enough.
She has to die.
Okay. Speaking of bedside manner, what I'm getting at though is he and her going to eventually there'll be tension between the rightful claims, or at least the way that the different powers of the country of Westeros support, because once all the other houses find out he actually should be the Iron Throne, he'll probably get more support in that sense. So she'll then be sort of relegated to more of an outsider status because his claim is more rightful than hers because he's older than she is, right? Mm-hmm. Is that how that works or something? Or
no, she's older than he is, but he's the male.
But isn't it about the descendant? Like his it's more direct for him, or am I wrong there? I don't know.
Well, his father is the son of Aerys Targaryen.
Yeah.
And she was the daughter of Aerys Targaryen.
Okay.
So she is one step above him, but then again, from a lineage standpoint, he's a male.
Does it make a difference that he's got a Lord Mother too, because he had a Stark mom?
I think it makes more of a difference the fact that he's the first male heir.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
which is wrong.
It's a bit sexist,
Yeah,
but that's how it went.
Yeah, well, the reason it's sexist is because this world is designed by men. Mm-hmm. That's how that works. I'm not saying it's good. Actually, I'd like to see that change. I want women to be terrible rulers for 2,000 years to even the scales.
To make it more simple, he is the child of her brother.
Okay. Well said.
Which makes her the aunt.
Which makes him her nephew. Do you think they'll be like, oh, put it in me, nephew. Give it to me hard.
Like, what to do, nephew?
I'm wetter than these waterfalls.
That was a little bit too far.
Yeah, I should probably not put this on the internet. Yeah. All right, so now we go to the Last Hearth, or First Hearth, right?
Last
Hearth, which we saw at the beginning.
Which is House Umber, which we know the child Lord Umber, Ned Umber, was returning to try and organize his men because they had not yet shown up to the meeting.
Right.
Now, one can presume the reason they did not show up is because they were being massacred, as we can see here.
And we see all blood everywhere. There's like bloody patches. And I'm slow, so I was watching this, and I did figure it out. I go, oh, they all got killed by the White Walkers, and then they got up and walked off. That's why the bodies aren't there.
They had a big wine party.
Yeah, this is all vomit wine. Ketchup, too. They had a bunch of French fries. So they're walking through. This is the Redbeard guy, Tormund, and the Beric Dondarrion, the brothers, Brotherhoods Without Borders, or whatever.
So the point of Without Borders, Without Banners.
Yeah, same thing.
So the important thing to note here is that these characters were all at Eastwatch by the Sea. Mm-hmm. They were there when the wall fell. They fled. They're basically following in the footsteps of the White Walkers that preceded them heading south.
Yeah. Yep. So starting to get tense. We're getting some music. And then footsteps. What is it? It's going to be an attack. They're creeping up. They got their swords ready. They're ready to fight. The Lord of Light turns on his light stick. And boom. They see the other guys. It's actually some crow dudes.
Yes, and they're like, he's got blue eyes. He goes, I've always had blue eyes.
Now, I relate to this. I have very blue eyes.
I was born with blue eyes, too, yeah.
You don't have them anymore?
I should have them.
Oh, well, you said I was born.
I mean, if you're born with them, you should keep them.
I know, but it also makes it sound like they went away at some point.
How did they go away?
I was born with baby skin.
I keep mine in my closet, hung up. Once I shed out of it, I slithered out.
For sale, baby skin.
The squelching sound of me slithering out of my baby skin.
Like climbing into a tauntaun. Yeah, so the blue eyes, so I have just dreamy blue eyes. Rest of me, terrible. Blue eye, my eyeballs, gorgeous. Mm-hmm. I've been told that. Especially if I wear a blue hat. One girl, she goes, James just looked up at my hat and then looked down with disappointment.
Then I realized it wasn't blue, and I was like, this is a waste of my time.
Nope. The only thing most blue about me is my depression. All right, so, they have a little conversation. There's the Lord of the Light guys, or the Night Watch dudes, and they're all good. But then, oh, fuck, boy, meat. He's been skewered.
This is Lord Umber from the very opening of the episode.
Yeah.
We see him, as you said, skewered against the wall with appendages nailed to the wall around him in the same sort of spiral pattern that we've seen from the very first episode, which is courtesy of the White Walkers.
Yeah, they should have changed this to the Ember Boy.
Yeah, Ned Umber went back home to try and get support from his people, and in turn he ran into the White Walkers who had already slaughtered his people, and they in turn made an example out of him.
Turned him into a calling card.
Pretty horrific.
There's a hand right there. It's like they like, and like you write something too close to the edge of the paper and you have to fill it in.
Now here's what I don't get right now. It's like right now, if you look at this picture right here, his hands are down inside his cloak. You can't see his arms, right?
Right, correct.
Can you go back one screenshot? Or a couple? Okay, I was mistaken. I was
right.
thinking that was his arm on the left with the hand cut off,
Oh,
but it's not. It is, no, on the other side.
Oh, this here?
Yeah, that is not his arm whatsoever. Okay, my mistake.
That's a slab of a calf. It's a big old. Looks like the lower leg of a calf.
Yeah.
The tibia and the fibula, those bones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good thing they got their torch sword though. Ed, the Umber boy, Dolorous Ed. That's the guy's name. He's the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch from the Night King. It's like, oh shit, this is bad. We came down. We're on foot. These guys are on foot, but in this shot, because they're suggesting that they need to get around the army of the dead because they're sort of stuck between them.
Right, to give warning. They don't want to just follow in the footsteps of the chaos that the White Walkers ensue. And while they're coming up with a plan, Tormund has this White Walker little Ed.
Ed is...
Not Ed,
is
Ned.
Yeah.
Ned.
Ned Umber?
Ned Umber.
Number.
Sure.
Star of the TV show Numbers. And he opens his eyes. He's got blue eyes, freaky. Yeah, get up. So it's like, okay, now we have a child. We're going to kill a kid in this episode. Mm-hmm. Game of Thrones tradition of burning children. So they stab him, turn him into fire. This is the Ember.
And it's nice, though, how every single appendage that goes out bursts into flame as well.
Yeah, it does travel.
Screeching, a horrific screech.
Yeah. I don't think flesh burns quite like that. It's not like it's wood.
No.
I think it burns with certain heat thresholds, but
they had to put some accelerant on those pieces.
They
to make
sprayed
them,
it with that stuff you spray on charcoal to have fun at a party.
Lighter fluid, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh shit, look at these guys. Oh fuck, man, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff, but this is up there. So yeah, the spiral starts burning.
I mean, that's like the house sigil of the White Walkers.
Essentially, yeah. Essentially it is. Do we know, is it just part of the mythology of the children of the first forest?
It seems to be. I don't quite know what that means. It's some sort of magical rune or something like that. But
yeah, could be. I don't know. Maybe it's it's a portal to Twilight Zone or something. So that's so we have this masked person riding up. We don't know who it is.
I wouldn't say masked. He was we saw him from behind. He had a hood over his head.
Masked to the viewer, kind of what I meant. But yeah, they're very clearly filming him in a way that they're not showing who it is.
And you were thinking it was Melisandre.
Yeah, the red lady. But then he jumped off the horse. So he had a man-sized body. It wasn't a woman,
right?
And which turned out to be brown-haired Jaime,
which is a really important thing because Jaime, the very fact that he is there means that he has defied his queen. He has defied Cersei.
Right.
He now has a hit on his head by the queen because he said to her that he is not going to break his oath. He agreed to go and fight for the North, and he is going to go and fight for the North. This is the new Jaime we have never seen.
Right.
This is a breakthrough Jaime.
Yeah. Like how Stella got her groove back, how Jaime got his groove back, and he did it by dyeing that blonde hair. The scourge, not only does it serve the purpose of helping conceal his identity, but it also is a way of renouncing his former life, his association with the Lannisters. Although I'm sure he's still happy to be rich.
Right, and the first person he sees is none other than...
Well, we revealed that. Bran Stark, just hanging out in his little spot.
Who the very first act of evil he committed, if you don't count incest as evil, is kicking Bran out the window and bringing him to the point where he became the Three-Eyed Raven.
Yeah. So Bran sees him. We get this kind of stare down from Bran. Bran doesn't really show a lot of emotion. He doesn't go, whoa, but...
Yeah, you know what Bran's saying. He's like, I rewatch your incest every morning. It's my own Pornhub.
Yeah, he just dials in like we are. Yeah, boy. So what's going to happen? All right, so that's the end of the show. That's it. Boom, credit scene. So that's it. That's the thing. But just a little bit of wrap up. James, follow up with Bran and Jaime. What's this interaction going to be like? Because we've seen a lot of, not forgiveness, but just for expedience sake, a lot of people who have committed harm to each other are now working together in certain ways, begrudgingly perhaps, but there is a lot of kind of moving on in this whole show.
I would imagine that Jaime would want to be apologetic to Bran, and if he is aware of what Bran is able to do, then he might want Bran to look into the heart of Cersei, or to see what Cersei has done, or what she might potentially will do.
All right.
And if he can look with Bran to see that Cersei will commit atrocious acts, that she is capable of an evil far greater than even he could conceive of, then perhaps that might be the catalyst that brings him to strike her down, as I predicted.
Yeah. I predict that Bran is going to say something about how Jaime killed the Mad King to save the city, because that's something that has not really been revealed to the greater population.
I would love to see that scene.
And it'll sort of show Bran in some way moving. I don't think Bran's. I mean, being crippled by being pushed out of a window or off of a ledge of a window. That can't be an easy thing to move on from if you meet the person who did it to you. But
he's a little dead inside now, though.
Yeah, he seems to have gone through so much other mitigating definitional experiences that he's probably not going to make that a big fuss. Like, Bran doesn't seem like he'll be going after for vengeance.
Yeah,
that'd be a misuse of his Raven powers.
Yeah, he's not the same kid that he used to be. It's sort of like what Jimmy Carr
his catchphrase should be, "That's so Raven." Go.
Yes.
What's your Jimmy Carr?
Jimmy Carr is saying, if you're scared of pedophiles, then just grow up.
Then grow up. Oh, yeah, good joke. Yeah, good joke. Yeah, fuck Jimmy Carr.
I like him a lot.
He's fine.
He's very witty.
He's very poised. He stands there in a suit and has a rich face.
It's not just that he has like that posh attitude and he has these one lines that he reads on stage. If you ever see him interacting in real time with other people off the cuff, he is sharp as a tack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what I like about him.
Yeah, no, I get it. I honestly haven't seen much of his stuff, but okay, enough about Jimmy Carr.
Jimmy Carr Stark?
The original Carr Stark. Jimmy Carter, building Habitat for Humanity. So, all right, next, how'd you feel about this episode? Review?
I mean, it wasn't the kind of action-based episode that I was hoping for, but I kind of knew in the back of my mind that the start of a season has to kind of build off the ending of the prior season, establish things, set the board for greater things to happen. So I wasn't too surprised by that. I loved the reunions. I loved, the fact that the White Walkers are making their footprint in Westeros right now.
Right.
So I give it a 4 out of 5. I mean, it wasn't the kind of episode that you remember for a long-lasting period, but watching it, it did have those emotional punches to it that is important for any episode.
Yeah.
And for that alone, I liked it a lot.
It feels like we're in the final act. Like, that's how it felt for me. Like, we're watching a great play, and like all the characters, well, some of them, not all of them, are still there. But it's great to see Davos and Gendry and Cersei. I mean, it's just good to see all the actors. Yeah. It's just fun to see them all kind of doing their thing. Because they've all reached points in their emotional arcs that, like, Cersei, although I guess now that she's pregnant, that might impose some emotional changes. Not just like because she's pregnant, just meaning like she like you said, she has something to live for now. But they've all sort of fully materialized who they are now. Like Jon, well, I guess that's not quite true. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying. I'm just saying, like, it's not like Arya's done training. Arya's ready to go into Terminator mode. Sansa has evolved and changed quite a lot. She started out kind of a naive, sort of just looking to be a pretty lady and get married to the king, and then look how that turned out. Horrible, one horrific marriage after another. So it felt good. I would say 5 out of 5. How about, let's go 9 out of 10. Let's just how about 18 out of 20?
I'd say 18. Yeah, I'd be the same way.
All right.
And I think your prediction that you said earlier before we started watching the episode is going to come to fruition next episode. I think Bran is going to drop the news that Daenerys is pregnant with Jon's child.
Daenerys is pregnant. Oh.
And then you have two pregnant queens fighting for power against each other.
Oh, yeah, I did say that. I totally forgot.
Yeah, I think you're going to be right.
Yeah, and then their babies, they'll have a cutaway to their babies. You know how the intro goes into the buildings? So they're going to fly into the wombs, and the little babies are going to be in there going, ching, 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 making little fists, like little kung fu fights.
Yes.
And, of course, Jaime and Cersei's baby will have one hand.
Yeah. And then we also say, like, what's the possibility of Jaime's child with Cersei turning out to be a dwarf, because her mother died giving birth to Tyrion, who was a dwarf. What is the greatest insult to her ever than the fact that her child comes out to be a dwarf?
If you should get credit for that prediction, right? I don't know. We were talking, and it kind of emerged from our, So I think you said, what if she gives birth to a dwarf? And I go, like, what if she dies from that? And then we're like, oh, whoa. That sort of mind, like, if she dies giving birth to a dwarf, but she has to live long enough to see that it's a dwarf baby.
Yeah, in that same.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'd be fine.
In that very same episode of I was watching Jimmy Carr the other day, he said a joke. He goes, I effing love dwarves, but I wouldn't tell them that because I don't want them to get a big head.
That's the kind of humor that we need more of since the never. That shit was hack in the 70s. Go fuck yourself, Jimmy Carr.
He's a billionaire.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm this like failed comedian, just like throwing, you suck, and he's So I guess the secret to success is to pick on the less fortunate.
He makes fun of himself more than others, though.
Tell me about it, boy. Do I know that move. All right. Well, great episode though. I mean, really, it's good. Like, I was just worried with a new season, sometimes they just don't capture the same lightning. And
Nope.
this show has really stayed consistent. I just watched all of it, except 3 through 7 seasons, and there is a bit of a lull with the sand snakes and kind of some of those seasons.
Yeah.
There's a few episodes where you're just like, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, you show me sand snakes, you show me Gilly, I'm checked out.
I don't know why you don't like Gilly. She's sweet and innocent.
Gilly.
She'll be the Lady of Hornhill soon.
You watch an episode and you're like, I want certain things to happen in this episode, and every moment that transpires where that thing is not happening is a moment wasted. And when you waste 6 to 7 to 8 to 10 minutes on Gilly, it makes you want to die.
But they're not telling her story. They're telling Sam's story. It's not like they go off with Gilly. I mean, Gilly is...
No, they tell her story more often. Oh, I'm Gilly. I have a baby. I can't read. Ooh, I'm a
she's the one who reads the annulment reveal. She's in... They're both reading, and she's slow, but she goes, what does annul... And she's learning to read.
Sam could have just as easily done that.
I know, but that's a pivotal thing. But also, she gave Sam... You know, like he had to protect her. It gave him something that he could actually do because he didn't really fit in with the Night's Watch. That's why he's a maester. He's sort of, he's not a fighter quite, even though he did seem to hold it together.
He was the first one to kill a White Walker, like
right?
you said, yeah.
But it was sort of a lucky, desperate stab. It wasn't quite, but it's still give him credit for it, of course. I like Gilly. I think she has a nice quality to her. You just, it's fine. I'm not.
She's a waste of film.
Okay, that's totally fair. I feel the same about those fucking dragons. No, I'm joking. They're awesome. I love the dragons. They're pretty cool. All right. Well, anything else you want to add?
No, that's pretty much it. Right. And I mean,
Let's go get you more drunk.
The table has been set. I feel like action is coming in the next episodes.
Yeah, big time. I'll be curious to see how the Golden Company plays into all this with the White Walker. I mean, you know, we just don't know. We'll find out.
There's the Golden Company might become the White Walker Company. Actually, no, they won't, because they're not going north because Cersei lied.
True. They're going to hang back and let them all get their asses kicked.
And Jaime's going to be up there doing his thing on behalf of the Lannisters without any backup.
Do you think someone will swoop in and buy the Golden Company's loyalty to screw Cersei over?
Yeah. Elon Musk is going to come down and be like, I'll take them off your hands.
He's going to land in a rocket ship.
Yeah, he'll just start shooting stuff off into space for no fun. He'll have everyone will have a flamethrower.
Yeah. I don't do any of the work, but I get all the credit for some reason. Go fuck yourself, Elon Musk. Let your employees unionize, you piece of shit. All right, good stuff. James, very good. Thank you so much. I think we still got it. How do you feel? You feel good? 5 more episodes to go. It's a 6-episode season.
And we're going to start over from season 1, right?
Yeah, then we start over.
Did we do season? We didn't do season 1.
No. I think we started with 6. The first stuff I shot we did was like a Walking Dead, and then we did season
Walking
6.
Dead sucks now. Have you watched it?
I know every time.
It's so bad. Rick is gone.
He's been gone a while, though.
He's been gone for... It's like a bad soap opera. It's like a bad elementary school amateur hour play.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, I'm Alpha. I'm the Whispers.
Right. I do want to watch, if I had all the time having a job and I have all these other like projects and editing stuff I do, so like I don't really I have to only spend my free points on shows like this and stuff. I would watch it though. I'm not, although it was getting pretty boring, that one, whatever season that was, season 400 or something.
I think it went all downhill since the Rock in the Road episode. Remember that one where Rick told that stupid story?
You mean all of them?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I was just got upset when they killed that old man. He was so hot. All right, let's move on. Thanks, everybody. Hit that like button, subscribe. You keep up with us. If you're new and you stuck it out all to the end, thank you. That's great. I hope we are, we're not for everybody. There'll definitely be those guys who are like, that guy is so annoying. He's trying to be funny. I'm like, yeah, I know. How do you think it feels to be me? It's fucking terrible. It's horrible. But we also have, it was so gratifying to post the predictions video because we'd been silent for 8 months, and all of a sudden we had tons of views and people were commenting, yay, they're back, it's cool, they're back. It was so flattering. And
seeing all those familiar names again was just, it felt really, really good to know that everyone was doing okay and that they were fine and they were still out there. So
I want to say all the names that I can think of, but I know I'll leave somebody out, and I don't want to leave anybody out. So just everybody, you're great. I recognize the names. You're so fantastic.
Yeah.
And when I say your names before I go to bed, like I do every night, it's not because I want to kill you. It's because I want to adopt you and turn you into my minions.
You want to find them and brand them.
Brand them, yeah. I want to burn my initials into your tree trunk. Okay. Love you, everybody. Take care, James. I love you even more. Tell me you love me. Tell me, please.
I got a new tablet.
much.